What is up, and welcome to Neon Topic, our discussion show about all things gaming, where we break down the biggest topics in the games industry. Today, it is all about Nintendo Switch 2 and the information that we found out about it this morning, bright and early at 6 a.m. Pacific time. I am your host, Gage Luke, aka Luke Shot First, and this week I'm joined by the OG crew. That's right, it is the sensational songbird and the talk ticker himself, the short craftsman, the singer bro, aka Steven Singer. What's going on, dude? I got it out.
Speaking of craftsmanship, I feel like you're really nailing that one a little further in the more we go on these intros. So
I'm working on it. I was like, I came up with that on the fly, but it's still good. And next to him, in the middle, oh no, wait, he's in the middle. The Green Man, not Green Man, but the Green Man, the producer supreme, the Dungeon Master himself. That's Jacob Jones, aka OM Jesus. You know him and love him. What's up?
I'm a Luigi.
I'm gonna win.
Hey, Mario.
Mario.
Am I doing a pretty good Luigi? Because he's kind of deeper.
Mario.
He's a little too deep until he's scared. Yeah, exactly. I was about to say.
I can't do Charlie Day's voice. I'd be like,
oh yeah.
Do I sound like Charlie Day?
Yeah,
that's my Charlie Day impression.
Perfect, man.
What the fuck?
Hey Sylvia, there's no Pepe Sylvia here.
Sylvia. That's my best.
I don't
That's my best
either.
Come on now.
Oh, I was gonna do. I thought I had Mac queued up, but I don't.
Pride only hurts.
There you go. Oh, here it is.
Totally and completely badass.
You win. Perfect.
Funny how they're both in a gaming thing with Mac being in Mythic Quest and Charlie Day being in Mario. Anyways,
I mean, we all like video games.
That's true.
This hat, I wonder what the trademark year on this hat is. Let's see.
You had it for a minute?
It'll say? I don't know, man. I've had this hat for a very long time.
Nice. Right.
I can't tell.
Yeah. Well, yes, that is right. Tonight we are talking about the Nintendo Switch and summarizing everything that we found out about it today, because there was quite a lot, and it was a roller coaster of a day. It was a really fun day, honestly, just to let it all come in and get it all from different angles. We saw the initial direct this morning at 6 a.m. That was cool, and I got up to watch it early, and it was nice to sit there and watch it with my daughter while she was just having breakfast and doing her little thing. That was pretty fun and cute, and it was a good way to start the day. I didn't crash until about like 2:30, 3 o'clock, and then it started to really. Then the 5:45 wake up time started to get to me a little bit more. But yeah, we got a lot coming from all corners of the internet. There was, post press conference press releases. There was speculation of all kinds all over the internet. We got, some official Nintendo stuff, a bunch of IGN and GameStop and all the different GameSpot reporting all around the internet. And yeah, it was a bit of a whirlwind. So we're going to do our best to try and give you first our impressions, and then some details about all the stuff that we found out today for you. But let's go down to panel. What did you guys think of the direct, and just in general what we saw from Switch 2 today? I'll start with you, Steven.
Yeah. So the direct, I'm just gonna give like a big overview of what I thought.
Yeah, sure.
I think the presentation was spot on. I think it was weird in every Nintendo Direct possible way. Complete with weird Nintendo decisions, some questionable other decisions, and of course some banger games. I think surprise at the end, which we'll get to, I'm sure, was definitely one of the most exciting ones. It was, and then I guess the biggest standout to me, and we'll get to later as well, is just how far into like the tech specs they went. Aside from showing like the actual like, this is what GPU hertz we're at and things like that.
Yeah, word.
And then I guess Nintendo always does this. They continue to do this, leave important information out, which is the price was what we heard about later. and I'm sure we'll get into that. But overall, I thought it was a very great and exciting presentation. Also, let's go Enter the Gungeon too. Anyways, I'll kick it to you, Jacob.
Nice.
Okay.
Heck yeah.
Is it me now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry. He said your name. I think you were doing a soundboard right when he did. He's like, "All right, I'll go to Jacob."
Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
Yeah, I can
Okay.
echo what Steven said. I mean, it was cool. I'm stoked for the console. I'm stoked for the games. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, I wish I got the price in the video. It pissed me off. I had to like try and hunt that down. People were like,
Yeah.
here's a Verge article, here's a this article, and that I'm like, fucking show me the Nintendo website that has the
Yeah.
price on it. Why don't they just have a graphic ready to go saying it's this price and it's this price? But yeah, that's the only thing that annoyed me. But overall, Nintendo, I think they're increasing their internet presence, or their like, you know, social experience on the Switch too. I think that's a huge focus of this console, and I think that, like, at first it might seem weird and antiquated. What you'll notice is that it might be pretty sweet, and also like an unmatched experience on a console. So I don't know. I mean, but again, it's thick with Nintendo gimmickry, flavor, finesse. And I don't know, man. Gimmicks? Did I say that already?
Yeah.
Gimmicker, yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
amiibos are still around.
Weird. They snuck that in there in a Street Fighter announcement.
Yeah, they're like,
Yeah.
guys, we're still making them new amiibos, and they're only for Street Fighter 6. Just so you know.
Weird stuff.
Yeah.
Nintendo didn't disappoint with some of the weird stuff, but I will say, hey, Polyjuice Potion. I will say that, like, I was pleasantly surprised that in the areas that count, I think Nintendo is pushing into the modern era of gaming and social gaming, and not necessarily streaming, but like, they are aware. It seems like they're aware of the trends that are happening in video games today, and I mean, I posted a funny meme earlier about like how some of the stuff they announced here was kind of just like what they announced at the Xbox One conference, but like, I do think that they're like the frame rate, the refresh rate that they have on the screen, some of the overall specs in general, the powered, enhanced powered in the dock, all that kind of stuff that they're doing, I think is what I wanted to see from this console. And then secondarily, I think a big push towards really emphasizing and including third parties in this, and that was cool because I think they realize now with things like the Steam Deck and stuff that have such a vast library, that they need to at least be able to compete where the big titles come. You know what I mean? Like, if they can't have everything, they need to at least have big juicy titles that are bringing people to gaming in the modern era, so that was refreshing. There were definitely some things that I'm like, all right, that's kind of like not a deal breaker, but like definitely like something that makes me hesitate, as far as just like, I wish I could just be 100% stoked on today's news. So we'll get into it, but yeah, overall, it was a great direct. It was really fun to watch, and I thought it was paced well, and there was some cool like Avengers Assemble of like Capcom, Koei Tecmo, like From Software, Ubisoft, like all these like studios showing that they're coming to the Switch. So that was cool. Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah, agreed.
Well, I want to get into, so we got a lot to go through, so I want to get into all of the nitty gritty. The introduction shapes were cute. You have here, yeah. There was some good classic graphics going on.
Wait.
I like. Yeah,
Before we go any further, hold on. Earlier you
Sure.
said, "Hey, we're gonna have drinks."
Oh
right?
yeah.
So
Good call.
I want a good old fashioned Neon Pocket Dimension crossover style Neon Gaming Dimension drink chat. That's what I want. It's been a while
Let's do
since
it.
we've had a drink chat.
It's been a while. I
see
love
those
that.
drink checks in the chat.
Yeah. Today was a good day, and here's to a new era of Nintendo. I'm doing a Benedictiner. It's a Benedictiner hell. It's a lager from Germany. Good shit.
A full thermos of margarita. So
Wow, full
Yeah.
thermos.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I love that.
This has Buffalo Trace in it. That's been in my freezer for about a week.
Yeah.
And then just
That's fun.
I got a Miller Lite. Like keep it light on the weekday if I'm gonna have a drink.
Agree.
You know what I mean? So cheers to you guys.
Party on.
Thanks for
Cheers, y'all.
watching, everyone out there, and let's get into it. Right now, if you are watching live,
Cheers.
I have straight up Animal Crossing music playing in the background, so this is a good time.
Gotta love that. Well, yeah, let's start off where they did, which was Mario Kart World.
Oh wait, can we talk
we-
about those cute shapes for a second? I know you
Yeah,
just
bring them
briefly
up. Bring them on down. Bring them on down.
I just at least
shapes,
want to
yeah.
show them. Oh, that's so off. It's so off. Let's
Oh.
scooch that over.
Gucci.
There you go.
Mike
See?
with the scooching.
Oops. That's not alt. There you go. See? There it is. What do you guys think?
It was very cool.
I watched Donkey's video today, and he started with that, and it was really funny. He always finds a way to make the weird moments stick out. Whereas when I watched it live, it was oh, that's kind of cool, and I didn't really pay attention to it.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of Sony's been really crazy with the After Effects graphics that they do at the beginning of their state of plays, and so yeah, Nintendo tried its hand here. I liked it. It was definitely a Nintendo version of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mario Kart World. You got the quote here: "You can drive virtually anywhere in this world." Verbatim from what the trailer says.
Yeah. Just so everyone out there knows, really quick, I watched this and summarized the entire video in note form. I feel like
It rules.
I feel like I should publish this. Be like, hey,
Yeah.
don't watch the video. Just read what I wrote
Here's a
about
summary.
it. But
Yeah,
it should
send it to a game site and just be like, "Yo, dude, I'm really good at I'm really good at making dogs."
It's true. It's
That's
like
good.
anyone
That's
need
good.
these details, I can do it.
Yeah.
All right.
hell yeah.
Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I love it. But yeah, this is for lack of a better term, a Forza Mario Kart vibes. It's an quote unquote or pseudo open world. Seems like open world Mario Kart, which is interesting. Weather conditions will change each track in different ways and for different races. You can drive everywhere in the open world, and you will drive next to the course as part of a competition, or drive to the next course as part of the competition. So there's a longer races where you get eliminated if you're not in the top 4 or top 8 spots or something and those will continue between kind of I think they were called the Goliath races in Forza. And you can now have 24 drivers in each race, which is crazy. And the knockout tour is what I was just talking about, where it's gonna seemingly go between the Grand Prix, be these longer almost campaigns of sorts. And then
You had that kind of in Forza, right? Where they had
exactly
a series of different cups that you would go to, and then overall winner kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, shout out to these 3 guys, by the way. I always like to see who Nintendo puts in front of the camera, you know what I mean? And these guys were probably so honored to be sweet, we got to lead the Nintendo Direct today, we didn't see Miyamoto, we heard Sakurai, but we didn't see Sakurai. We didn't even see the Pokemon guy wouldn't have been there, I guess. But so it was fun to see them.
Yeah, I'm calling this the new face of Nintendo. I was watching the Kit and Krista podcast when they were talking a little bit about certain things, and they were saying retirement age in Japan is 65 years old, and they were going down the line all these higher ups, 64, just turned 65. Miyamoto 70 something, right? It's clearly there's a new class of Nintendo people, and so you got Koichi Kawamoto, the producer, Takahiro Dota, the director, and Tetsuya Sasaki, hardware design lead. So remember those names; they're going to be important.
Heck yeah! I've heard Takahiro Dota before. I don't remember what else he was working on, but maybe it was the Switch itself. It's something like that. But that's cool. That's awesome.
He was the design lead, I think, for this one, right?
Yeah.
Dota.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
hardware design.
So yeah, it'll be So it'll be cool to see, you know, like
Oh no, that's director.
some of the specs and stuff that we got from me shows me that there is a younger, newer generation who's, you know, probably a little more accustomed to some of the features of other modern, you know, technology that they're implementing here. So maybe that's part of it. You know what I mean? Young, fresh ideas, and then I would imagine also the prevalence of Nintendo of America and people like Doug Bowser also being like, "Hey guys, let's do that." You know what I mean?
Of course!
Gotta love Bowser.
Shrek is kind of like Bowser.
Yeah, there you go. That's true. He's trolls or dragons or Koopas or whatever.
I like that boulder.
But yeah, so what did you guys think of Mario Kart World, and what are you thinking about it in general?
I think it's interesting, right? It seems obvious from like a okay, well, what could they possibly do as a gimmick to make Mario interesting again? Okay, now they have hardware to do it on. And let's make an open world racing game. Okay, cool. And I'm not even sure if it's like fully open world or not. I don't know if we have that confirmation.
They said virtually
like there's
anywhere.
big zones at the very least.
I mean,
right?
look at this. It looks like they're going off road, like right here, like
and I wonder,
right here, free roam.
Also wonder what the extent of it is too, right? Like are they going to have activities that you break billboards or something, that you hit Koopas and stuff?
Look at
right?
that.
Drifting to Koopas.
This is the free roam right here. I'm not seeing any items anywhere, but there are like shiny things. There's things happening. There are coins there, as you can see. You can see people. Yeah, they just also can free roam with you.
Yeah, it looked like that was on like a rail or something. So like maybe certain kind of like not tricks, but like sort of like stunts that you have to pull off to get certain things, you know. And yeah, the coins is an interesting thing because we haven't. I mean, is that in Mario Kart 8?
Yeah, yeah. Coins
Yes,
make
it
you
is.
a little faster. Like every single coin you get, it increases your top speed a tiny bit. At least that's what I'm led to believe. I could be wrong. I also don't own that game, so full disclosure.
But yeah, I do wonder what the activities will look like in that open world. What are we doing with other people? Are there fetch quest things? Are there like how is that implemented? Because it didn't seem like there were too many like icon things in the way, or like, hey, look at this thing over here to do on the way to this race, right? So I don't know.
Yeah, we'll have to see. My one thing with it is one of the reasons that Forza Horizon works so well is because it is almost like a kind of quote unquote like car PG, you know what I mean? Like it's about the driving less than about the racing, and the driving is incredibly fun, and the difference in vehicles like switches up that whole, you know, switches up the gameplay. And there was just so much to do, like even just like you're coming around a certain part of the world and you just get points for drifting, or you get points for, you know, hitting a sign like Steven said, or you know, doing a cool stunt, or like a speed trap, and like trying to get as fast as possible. Like as long as they have a bunch of that kind of stuff to do, and like it looks like they are doing stuff like planes and jet skis and motorcycles, and so, you know, I think they can add a lot because there's like the Nintendo whimsy and charm. Like it's not a realistic open world, so they're gonna have some crazy weird shit, and that exploration in and of itself could be really cool. But I hope just like the driving itself is fun enough to just be like, yeah, I want to do the movement of this game all the time, you know.
Yeah, it looks fun.
Yeah,
it looks like I want to drive in that game. Just quick note, it is looking stylish, more stylish in this showing than like that previous like teaser direct thing. It was just kind of flat landscape and really like nothing. So it's already looking better than that. And then also, did you guys notice that one of the items is eating a sandwich, and it did something to their hat? I don't really understand what it is.
I saw that. Yeah.
I'm hoping that there's collectibles that you find for like around the world, you know, like outfits and maybe up like carts or that kind of stuff. Like it would be cool if like the garage finds in Forza was one of my favorite things, because then you unlock a cool car. Like if you can unlock skins for your different drivers, like that'd be really sweet. So we'll see.
Nice.
Cool. Well, in the interest of, we got a lot to talk about, so I'm going to keep moving on if we can. So if anything else to say about Mario Kart, I think we'll get back to the idea of price later, because we did find some interesting stuff about Mario Kart's price. But maybe we'll get into that when we talk about overall pricing.
Prices at the end, but feel free to just move us along.
Yeah, heck yeah. So next, really, they opened up with that and got us all excited about a brand new game, and then we got into Switch hardware features, which you have lovely have expounded here and summarized for us. So the Joy-Cons are Joy-Con 2. The C button, as some of us speculated, is a chat button, which is interesting. And they've essentially created a new Nintendo style, like almost Discord feature, which is pretty wild. They say there's going to be some noise canceling where it picks up your voice off of the system, even if there's noise in the background. You can be in like a smaller window, and you can either show your gameplay, or like with the camera that they introduced, there's an overlay feature where you can show your face. It is like very reminiscent of Discord, which we're using right now to record this podcast, where you can literally show your gameplay window to other people. That's pretty interesting. I don't know how often I would want that. Like in some cases, maybe. But what do you guys think about this kind of streaming to your friends Discord call vibe for multiplayer?
I think it's actually pretty cool. I was thinking about this because I'm like, okay, it's just Discord. Okay, it's game chat. I mean, every company already has fucking game chat. Xbox has had it since Xbox Live begun, selling headsets and stuff. Nintendo hasn't really been a part of this, whole online gaming, like full on, like there haven't been all in on it. Like there's always been online stuff. Even on the Wii, there was funny, gimmicky online stuff where you could share like drawings or something, or you could like send a screenshot to your friend or something, sort of like play games online, but it was never great. And then even with the Switch generation, the online hasn't been great, and it still feels very like antiquated. But with this, it feels like they're really embracing like a social experience, embracing like internet being a big part of playing a Nintendo, not an afterthought. And I think that's a big deal. The second thing about it is that, to me, I didn't think about it this way, but yes, Xbox and now PlayStation, but more Xbox because they have more features, integrated already with Discord. Nintendo could have tried to like just integrating Discord and doing it that way. But like the thing is, what they're doing with this game chat thing is trying to mirror the experience of using Discord on a PC, while PC gaming and stuff, but in a console. Whereas on Xbox, like if I want to share gameplay to you on Xbox, you could watch it, but only if you're just in Discord, like not playing a game or anything that. You could use Discord to chat. That's fine. That's the most basic thing. But what they're really pushing here with this game chat thing is like, not only are you gaming, you're also in a chat room essentially with your friends. They're selling a camera for it. What's going to have built-in green screen background elimination, like target isolation, so that, as you can see right now, you can essentially interact with the games almost like a Kinect in certain ways, or just to have your face in the game where your character is, or like in the mini game, whatever. That's like really interesting and interactive. You could also stream your gameplay to this game chat thing. As you can see, yes, the game streams are only like 10 frames per second, and that's pretty weird and lame, but
I wonder if that's like a is it because there's so many going on, it's like limiting it to that, right?
Yeah.
For
I think it's
things, or
I think it's with that, with internet speed, with performance. I think they're just like, let's just keep it at a low frame rate, so like it doesn't take much. The bit rate doesn't need to be high, you know what I mean? All that stuff. But it's still cool. It's still neat. You could do a lot of stuff with it. And again, this is like, they have a new button for this. They even put it on the fucking Pro controller, and they put it on the GameCube controller. Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
They're
going all in on it for sure.
There is a microphone on the top of it that they claim that with it in the dock and you on the couch, away from the dock, however many, like 10 feet away, however many fucking feet you are, that it will pick up your voice clearly and dampen or noise cancel everything in the background. They even used a blender as an example in this. I'll go back to it right now. So it's like
what
big
kind of tech
claims
are they pushing here? Like,
big claims,
they
but
can make that
also
happen.
all of this was like, I mean, this is like a 10-15 minute segment of the direct that they're really focusing on. They really want to drive home that like game chat is here. You guys have been wanting legit game chat. Here it is. We're going to do it like Nintendo does it. It's going to be awesome. We're going to integrate it with everything. We're going to gimmick it up to make it fun. Also, if you're concerned, this view isn't the only view. You can actually go to another view where they're a lot smaller, and even a further view where you only shows your gameplay and you only hear the voice. So like, there's options too. Like, it's not going to just be shitty. I mean, the only problem is like, how good is the internet speed going to be? There is an Ethernet plug in the back of it though, which is very promising. So that's my rundown of game chat. This is the blender
here
thing.
Real fast, it was showing that his voice was going all the way to the system. I was wondering if maybe the Pro Controller itself had a mic in it, but that arrow was saying that his voice is getting picked up by the mic in the system itself right there.
Check the
That's what I'm
doc.
talking about.
Check the doc.
Yeah.
I specifically
no, I believe you. I'm just saying, like,
read all their stuff.
This definitely shows me that they're like, no, it's the right.
I'm telling you,
Yeah,
they're not trying to confuse people on that. They're like, this is the best microphone in the world. Okay, bitches, and you don't even need to do anything. You don't need a headset. You don't need nothing. Just let's just game, dude, with your friends.
I will say, I'm interested to see
Simplicity.
like, if you want to have your own. We found out there that as long as they're USB-C webcams, that they will work with it.
Not everyone is confirmed, of course, but they say try it out, see if it works.
Yeah, exactly.
It could work.
So I'm interested about that kind of stuff because it looks like the webcam that they're showing like is pretty low quality. Like even in those little thumbnails, those people are looking pretty jaggy. So I think it's going to be a Nintendo style experience still, where it's like, good enough, or like more about the overall gimmick than like of like a finely tuned experience. You know what I mean? But I can see like my nephew right now, like he's constantly like, especially because he like went through the pandemic, like has experienced hanging out with his friends virtually, and he does it all the time. Like when he's at his house, he's always got friends on probably his iPad or whatever, and they're just in a whatever FaceTime call and are just hanging out while they're doing shit in their room. You know what I mean? And so if you're playing your Switch and you can do that, I can so see a world in which kids younger than us are having like the co-op living room experience that we did on the N64, like via this chat room thing. So I totally see the vision for sure.
That's what excites me about that the most, I think, with this game show thing is like, couch co-op gaming and like gaming together in the same kind of like experience has like kind of been lost for a while.
Totally.
Like it's kind of fallen to the wayside. And this kind of brings it a little bit closer in my mind, because it's just so easy seemingly to just get in, right? Like, and then, I have a game that's a multiplayer game. You guys don't even need the game. I'm just going to share it with you in the chat here. Which is rad. But I just think like, one, that mic isn't going to work that well. I hope it's going to work that well. That'd be awesome.
It's big claims.
Whatever mic tech they got right in my shit. So, but also two, how is the camera going to work if you're undocked? Because the thing has a stand, right?
Yeah, but they have the no, they do it. They have the top USB-C on your thing, so you can run it out of the top of your system.
Yeah,
goes away from the pod or whatever, and then just hooks on.
It has a clip on. That would be sweet if it had a clip on
Switch.
But if not, like the thing, like the Logitech I'm using right now, there's like there's a thing on that's it adheres to the back of pretty much anything. So something, maybe it'll work. But the other thing I was thinking too is, depending on the mic in the actual system that's happening. So if you're playing in handheld, if you don't care about the camera, the mic's going to be right up next to your, right up next to your
Yes.
thing.
And that's
then
chill.
also you can also have a headset in. There's nothing. There is a headphone jack or an auxiliary jack in the Pro controller now. So you could plug your own headsets in there and do that however you want. So hopefully, I really hope that they allow a good amount of third-party stuff to work well. And also, they didn't mention Bluetooth that I know of in any of this, but hopefully you can still Bluetooth to the thing.
That would be an incredible miss.
It would.
I mean, they didn't at the beginning of Nintendo Switch. They didn't have Bluetooth, and then they just turned it on one day.
Yeah,
But now that they had it in the last one, it would
Yeah,
be silly if they didn't carry that forward.
I'm
in
like,
Yes, or
you
whatever.
had the Bluetooth chip in the machine already. What the
Yeah.
fuck?
Yep.
They're like, we took it out. It was gonna make the system $20 more. Couldn't do it.
Dangerous. Dangerous,
Yeah, my main point though, just so everyone knows, is that whether or not you realize it, this will be the only console experience where you can do something like this technically.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, without
keep that
some
in
sort
mind.
of like second screen.
That's what I mean.
thing
Like
going
just
on.
doing it all on your TV in one thing. There's no other way
It
to do this on a
seems-
console.
Ease
is
of
correct.
use. They're trying to make it as easy as possible to hang out with your friends, which I love.
Yeah, literally
Hell
press
yeah.
a button on your controller. That's awesome. Well, that's great. We talked about the Switch camera, Switch game steering. We touched on, but essentially, if you're in a local setting, you can switch switch. You can you can share games with people around you. Meaning, if one person owns the game, like if only I own Mario Kart, but you guys have Switch systems, Switch and Switch 2 systems. I didn't know. I didn't see if it had Switch Lite on there, but hopefully, whatever. We'll see.
It did, yeah. In the bottom right in one of these graphics, it
Great,
shows
great.
Switch Lite.
Oh
Cool.
yeah.
But yeah, it's showing that you can share games. It's funny that they picked like casino games or whatever. Oh yeah, there's the Switch Lite. Great.
No, it's 51
Um,
Clubhouse games, man. That game's awesome. I have it. And now we can play it
That's great.
together when we all have Switch 2s.
I don't know what that is, but I'm sure
It's
it's
dope.
fun, maybe.
It's just all the
It's like all the
regular
parlor games,
Yeah,
yeah.
parlor games. Yeah.
and like
Oh, okay,
and like
okay.
I think
And
there's like Uno on there and shit.
It was
yeah.
like only $30. It was
Yeah.
like an awesome pickup because it's a good
That'd be
game
fun
to
hang
play.
out and
Just
do.
you can play a lot of games
Yeah.
just by touch. You just pull that out at a party and you're just like, yeah, let's play fucking air hockey
play
with our
mahjong or
finger.
whatever. Yeah,
It's like
totally,
Tato, yeah.
or chess or whatever. Yeah,
Big Brain Academy. I like what they're showing.
yeah,
off.
that's in
pretty
there.
fun. Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, I wrote the list
Um,
of these games on there with the
Nice.
game share.
But yeah, but it's pretty cool. I think there has been some times actually in my life where multiple of us have gone on, like when I've gone on trips with friends, and multiple of us have had Switches, but I'm like, oh, but we're not able to, or I don't know, stuff like that. We're not able to all play the same game because we don't all have it or whatever, and you're like, oh, that's stupid. Or like, I brought it's just interesting. There's a lot of little possibilities that I could think it could happen, which is cool.
Gage, watch this flex. Watch this flex right here.
Yeah, I'm watching.
Here it comes.
He's just like,
Look at that. Look at that.
Hold
Hold on, one more time, but with the sound. Oh, come on. It had the snap.
Yes.
Oh, good.
That's a good
Talk about
flex.
like a Voltron moment. They're like,
They're like,
"Ugh,"
we did
they
this.
combine.
Snap. Fucking love these guys.
So speaking of the form factor, which they're showing off there, yeah, they're great, dude. They're like the new little like three amigos. It's got a bigger screen, 7.9 inch versus the Switch One's 6.2 inches, which is cool. But same thickness, they said, which I liked.
yeah. They're like, it's still
Weird
the same
screen.
thick. Don't worry, it didn't get fatter. We kept it doing cardio. Don't you worry.
Pretty funny. High definition, we got 1080p in handheld, which for that size screen, 1080p is gonna look great. And this is the big one for me. This one blew me away. 120 frames per second. with,
120.
refresh rate. I mean, I've never experienced 120 gaming before in my entire life.
See, that's the thing. When I fucking heard that, I was like, oh my God, like so many people who have never even seen 120 frames will be able to see it now. Because everybody buys Nintendo consoles. The old people, the very, like children, fucking everyone.
I guarantee it's me experiencing this is going to force me to have my next TV have a like a high rate.
Oh yeah, you're gonna want a
refresh rate.
120 hertz refresh.
Yeah, exactly.
This
It's
thing
gonna-
goes
it's gonna-
144 hertz. It's pretty wild, dude. Now they have them at like 240 or like I think over 300. I'm just like,
They have
man,
a 500 something hertz monitor.
wild.
To be fair, my monitor is 120 hertz, but my system my Mac can't really output games at that level.
Yeah,
So
right.
I've like it's nice for when I'm just the performance vibes, like when I don't know, my mouse is really smooth, or like the little animations between like opening and closing my windows or something.
Yeah,
but it doesn't really it's
Jacob,
not like
Sorry to interrupt, but like this
please,
right here, it displays, I think, very simply what you would miss if you don't have more frames, right?
That's really
and
cool.
I think this is very genius of them to put that in there.
Just like
to
really
Mario
smart.
level 1.
yeah, to people who are like, okay, what the doesn't matter, I can't even see. It's like, no, but there's more information being displayed that you can react to. Right?
Per second. Per second.
Yeah.
That many more frames. Also, by the way, I did that with the frame by frame on YouTube. It's kind of fun.
Oh yeah. That's just the
I'm having
comma period.
Yeah, I'm just hitting the less than button over and over again.
There it is.
Ooh, less than Mario.
Love that. I thought, personally, one of the standouts from this thing was how much they did go into, like you said, they didn't get into their exact GPU specs and things like that. But like the fact that they did do all of this spec work, like that's kind of a new era for a Nintendo. Nintendo has always just been like, it's the magic of the box. You know what I mean? Like this, they actually showed us some real, tech specs, which was cool and unique, I thought.
Totally.
And then, so yes, 1080 in the hand, and then with the docked mode, we're able to up to 4K res with HDR, which is great. In TV mode via the dock, and TV mode has resolution settings of 720, I think, at that higher refresh rate, and then 1080 at 1080 60, 1080. It looked like it was gonna change with your resolution, but
4K 60.
It's 4K
yeah.
60,
and then
in the
and
handheld,
I think
it's
when
1080.
you go down, it'll
Yeah.
When you go down, it'll go to 120 capability and those kind of things. So
on those things, so that's cool. But emphasize the cooling fan too. That's in the actual dock itself, but yeah, that's it. It's very cool. Cooling is a big deal as far as like what it's capable of doing graphics wise, because otherwise, it maxes out where otherwise it's going to heat up too much. So that's good. Magnetic Joy-Cons for the Joy-Con 2s. We've seen this technology, I think, at GDC, and then what's the one you went to? Consumer Electronics Expo, CES.
CES, yeah.
This type of stuff was being shown off as far as like magnetic electronic technology, where you're literally like flipping the electromagnetism of it with that button there.
Yep.
I don't know if it's like putting something in between it that disengages it, or if it's literally just doing some cool sciencey shit. But
magnets, how the fuck does it work?
yeah, I was listening to Hank Green talk about magnets actually the other day, and
sounds like a sentence you would say.
It does sound like a sentence I would say. Yeah, metal buttons, so that's interesting. Just in general, I'd say the Joy-Cons being slightly bigger is going to be a really welcome change, because if you ever are just using those single Joy-Cons, I remember on the little ones I was using, it was like so claw hand.
You have to like
have this
separate your hands like this to be able to do it, because you like your hands get too crowded.
I have this little 8BitDo controller from my daughter, which is really cute, but it's like it feels the same way. You're like, I can't really do what I want to do. Anyways, but yes, so I'm happy about that, and just the buttons being a little slightly larger too. That's nice.
Yeah. What else does the Joy-Con do?
It's a mouse. Ta-da-da-da-da-da. That's pretty cool. Both left and right, which is kind of nice.
I think that's interesting, and they have a game later that we'll go over that I also have some thoughts on. But yeah, both of them do the little slidey back and forth thing. That's cool.
I wonder how often you're going to be doing both. That seems like that'd be a really weird
The
feeling,
game,
but I mean,
drag and drive, dude.
But even I saw someone doing it for Mario Kart, and I'm like, what is happening there? You know, at some
Dragon
point throughout
Drive,
this
dude.
Dragon Drive. I wish it was called Dragon Drive, like Dragon.
Wax
That's what
on,
Cat
wax
Bailey
off
is
over
saying.
here with the
There you go. But yeah, it is going to be a little weird and Tim Geddes-ish to like be using the joystick on the left hand and then mousing presumably
Steven,
on my
hands where I can
couch.
see him. Hands where I can see him, Steven.
You're like, don't do that. Don't do that.
No!
It'll be pretty funny, but
No, don't twist them. You're sick.
It's like that sexual bop it I bought not long ago. Just kidding. A couple other new features. New audio emphasis, which is interesting. 3D audio can be enjoyed in headphones. Built-in microphone with the noise canceling, like we talked about. Clear, more natural audio balance. We got a larger stand in the back, which is cool. Because the first Switch stand, man, that thing was just, I mean, it never actually broke for me, but it just felt like it was always going to break.
Yeah, they're saying the 3D audio is supposed to be cool too, apparently.
Nice. I mean, that's like another one of those things where it's like I'm pretty used to that in my gaming experience these days.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad it's here,
Yeah,
I am
welcome
interested
to
in that.
stereo sound.
Exactly. I am interested in the fact that the stand goes back all that way, because it's like again for that mouse and keyboard mode, maybe.
It
kind of-
has me
Limbo.
tilt my head all the way down every time I see that, right? Just
What
Yeah,
you got going on under there?
hey.
Yeah, it's like you're working on the bottom of your car or whatever.
Limbo.
Yeah, 2 USB-Cs. Storage is upgraded now from our whopping 32 gigs on the original to 256.
And it's faster.
One
It's
Call of
faster.
Duty.
Yeah, one
Call of
game.
Duty. I am interested to see what Switch games are netting out as, because somehow on the Switch they optimize those bitches to be incredibly small. I mean, the fact that Tears of the Kingdom was like 11 or 12 gigs or something is absurd.
Switches
So
get
if you look at this
stitches.
graphic, right? This to me says, okay, 8 times the amount. Those are as much that
Is-
could fit on 32 gigs, so you could do some weird math here and kind of guesstimate like some of the games that are going in there. Like
Yeah, to be fair, a lot of those games are Switch 1 looking games. Like
They
that's
are
Yoshi's
Switch 1
Woolly
games.
but they'll
World.
have no so but
you know.
Mario, they have the upgraded versions
Yeah,
for some of those. So
Totally.
Mario
I
Luigi.
trust in Nintendo to compress their games. They just seem to have some sort of magic compression algorithm to do that for sure.
Can you guys see what game this is?
Arms,
Continue.
legs. I do wish we had gotten the legs. Ironically, we got a not legs, but we'll talk about that in a second. Sorry, that was mean. That was mean.
we'll get to that later too, because that's kind of
We're almost
that's kind of
there.
what I wanna touch on
We're
with
almost
that.
there.
We're almost there. And then here's where we get some stuff that I am starting to be a little like on. I did kind of think this was going to be the case, but I'm still a little bummed about it. Switch 1 compatibility is there. If you own the Switch 1 game, you can pop it into your system, both the actual cartridge or you can transfer it digitally via your online account. So the one thing I'm a little nervous on is I don't have my Switch anymore, but I still have my Nintendo account. I'm really hoping that there's not some sort of like, you have to have your old Switch to send these games to your new Switch. You know what I mean? Like, I could just see Nintendo doing that where like I don't have the primary console anymore, so I can't like transfer this new thing to being a primary console without my old console. Anyways, I'm really hoping that that's not the case. Well, they probably wouldn't do that, right? Because people are going to be trading these in at GameStops and stuff like that.
So
I don't know.
They're all.
It makes me
so
nervous.
My understanding, the licenses are just tied to your account, and you can
Yeah.
Okay.
re-download them as long as they're not
Hopefully.
the physical cartridges.
Yeah.
You're good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
I think that
hopefully-
everyone's freaking out about this game sharing shit, and like y'all need to just chill. They've just made it simple. It's real simple. It's like you own games on your account, you're good. You have the cartridges. If people want to borrow a game, they're just there, and then you go, "Hey, borrow my game," and you send it to them, and then it's not in your library; it's in their library, and that's it. Simple as that. Every
2
game
weeks.
that you own, you own. It's not going to be unless someone steals your password or something.
That's true. But then yes, there are going to be some incompatible games. We speculate that those are going to be things like Nintendo Labo or things that have external peripherals, or maybe just weird random, like, I don't know. I can't think of any other really good examples, but probably just some other third-party weird games or something that they lost a license for or something along those lines.
Well, actually, I have 2 PDFs worth of data on that
There.
we can get into
they're
later.
chunky. They're chunky.
It's
chunky PDFs.
at the end of everything. I have a spot, like, time permitting, we can kind of go through some of them, but just preliminarily looking through it, some are just like they can start up, but then there's weird compatibility issues, probably either with hardware or software stuff. And then there's a full list of games that just like won't even start up on the Switch 2. So like clearly are just incompatible, like, you know, within the code and stuff. So, you know, it's unfortunate. It's over 120 games, I hear. But when I look through it, it's like mostly third-party stuff, and it's all good. Like, I don't know.
I'm sure for the most part, most of the games that you want to play are going to be fine.
Yeah.
I'm sure the first party stuff will be there, right? Like all the
100%.
Nintendo shit they're gonna make sure is there, I'm sure.
Like I said, with the exception of maybe like Wii Fit Adventure or that
yeah,
kind of thing.
like
Yeah, they also put out a graphic for all of the compatible and incompatible hardware from the Switch 1. And then not surprisingly, like obviously the Ring Fit and stuff like that didn't work. I mean, it's because it uses the old Joy-Con, but you know, it's obvious.
Yep. All that stuff. What was I going to say? Oh yeah. So, but the thing that that we kind of speculated in our predictions episode, but I'm not so happy about, but I kind of knew it was going to be the case, is that the kind of upgraded experience for older Switch 1 games is going to be locked behind either a conversion paywall. We don't know what that's going to be yet, whether that's $10 or $20 to upgrade your Switch 1 version to the more enhanced Switch 2 version. Those Switch 2 enhanced versions also seem like they are varying in how much enhancement that is. Like something like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom is getting a big jump where they're doing extra features and like a weird companion app and all that kind of stuff, where Pokemon ZA, for instance, ZA, whatever you want to call it, is just an up resolution, like, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But then they also said that those Zelda Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom are going to be included. Their up-resed Switch 2 versions are going to be included with Nintendo Switch Online Plus Expansion Pass subscription. So I'm not that upset about this. PlayStation does this stuff too. My main gripe is just that it's not like super clear. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, it is.
My main gripe. I mean,
What
all
are
I'm
you
saying
not-
is that what's your question? Let me rephrase it. When I have an Xbox game, and even if it's an Xbox or an Xbox 360 game, like when I play it on my Series X, it's just benefiting from the fact that it's on Series X.
Oh,
I
yeah.
wish it was just that. I wish it was just that simple.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm not saying that it's not
Right,
clear.
right,
I do
right. Okay.
understand this, but I don't like that it's a game by game basis. And I don't like that they're going to sell you some of them, but other ones, you know, like some of it being on Switch Online versus some of it not. I just wish it was like an all-in-one solution. That's
It's not about it not being clear. It's about it being lame.
And just unnecessarily convoluted. Like, you know, like, I don't know. Like,
Well,
like,
I mean, you gotta think of it this way, right? Like an Xbox has always been a PC, and PC games work like that. You know, if you buy a PC game, you can install it on anything. You're just limited by either the software and the limitations of the hardware. Simple as that. And the Xbox has always been like that since the very first Xbox. Whereas these other systems, they again are unnecessarily complicated in the way that their system architecture is, the way that their code is, and everything. That's why it's too hard for them to put things out. But like the lame part is that like clearly, if they maybe either planned ahead or just like unlocked the FPS of a game, you could just play a game in 60 frames that's like a Switch 1 software game on a Switch 2, you know? And then like, again, the lame thing is money, because they're like, oh, well, you'll subscribe to Nintendo Switch Online to get access to these games, or you'll spend $10 or $20
but
more.
you'll only get Zelda for doing the Nintendo Switch Online stuff. The other ones you still have to pay for. Like,
Exactly.
it's just that kind of stuff. I'm like,
Yep.
and then
Lame.
also like the Mario Party Jamboree one, you get like new levels and new
Yeah.
features that include camera stuff. But then on Pokemon ZA, it's literally just a resolution upgrade. And are those going to be the same price of an upgrade? Because that doesn't seem right to me. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, at that
if they're
point,
going,
you just buy the Switch 2 version of the game, right?
yeah, I hear you. I totally hear you. Again, it's just all of those little questions that come into mind when you're making those types of decisions. It's just kind of one of those things that I'm like, why does it doesn't have to be that way. You know what I mean? That's all.
Lame.
But it's all right. We knew some of this was going to be here for sure, and here we go.
Yeah, but at least
Some
then,
indies.
at least the enhancements seem cool. Like you were saying, like
Totally.
the Mario Party Jamboree TV thing adds a lot of new features and is kind of a main thing with the game chat thing we were talking about earlier. Sorry, Steven.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say, like, if they implement those kind of features into making that upgrade price worth it, then it's a different story. But if it's just like unlocking a frame rate thing so that like ZA, where it's like and I guess that's gonna be developer based, right? Like it's gonna
totally.
probably be up to developer at that point, but
Yeah.
it's still kind of lame. And also, we've never known Pokemon to push any kind of tech thing well, so I feel like that's more on Pokemon than it is on Nintendo at that
That's
point
true. That's
as a
true.
whole.
Yeah.
Just kind of putting in that perspective.
The notes I took for all of the enhanced whatever they call them Switch 2 edition games, because they said there's 3 types of games: Switch 2 games, Switch 1 games that work on Switch 2, and then Switch 2 edition games, which are what we're talking about, the upgraded Switch 1 game on Switch 2. And so then they went on and detailed all of the things in all of the games, right? And like there's stuff, right? It's like, okay, I get it, maybe it's worth it, whatever, besides just increased frame rates and like increased frames per second. Even on Metroid Prime, it's going to give you like a quality mode and performance mode like you see on like real games. But then you look at Pokemon ZA and it's like, yeah, just higher frame rates and resolution.
Yeah.
That's the only 2 things. So it's
I think if they're not adding features, if they're not adding features, it shouldn't be like more than $5 or something, or it should be NSO, right? Like
it should be less.
Yeah, I agree.
It should be less money than the other ones. Yeah, like I think we're all in agreement there. So
so that's interesting. Again, like like with something like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, when it came to Switch, like that game completely changed. It almost like there was like almost 40 levels they added over time and all sorts of different stuff. So like if that's what they're talking about doing as part of bringing these Switch games forward, then I totally understand. It's like you said, Steven, if it's just a frame rate update or something, I'd rather not pay anything, but if anything, if it's like a $5 update, I hope none of these are going up to like $20 updates, but some of them might, you know what I mean? So we'll see how that goes. $10 I think is the sweet spot. I think that's mostly what PlayStation has done with their PS4 to PS5 upgrades. At that point, if you already own the game and you do the little upgrade, I'm like, okay, whatever. That's probably worth it for you if it's a game that you play a lot, but we'll see. Okay, then we have some other in there, just like Kirby and the Forgotten Land, Pokemon ZA, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, Zelda Breath and TOTK. So yeah, a lot of games right now already with some Switch enhancement stuff, and I'm sure more will be rolling out in the future.
The Switch 2 Pro controller version of the Switch 2 Pro, or the Switch Pro controller, which you can use the old Pro controller with the Switch 2, by the way. So if you have a bunch already, you're good. It has a GR and GL back paddle that you can map to whatever, and it has an audio paddle and the C button. That's basically the only difference, in case anyone was wondering.
No, that is cool. And it looks nice too. It's got the little two-tone thing, kind of like that. Little white, like front panel there, where the shoulder buttons are. Then let's dive into game announcements, huh? They came out. Well, they used drag and drive, which we'll talk about briefly, to kind of demonstrate the dual mouse business, if you can find that somewhere in there.
Did we want to say the release date of the Switch?
Sure.
Yeah, they have said it. They had to say it
June
before
5th.
this point. Yeah, June 5th.
June 5th it is. So right before Summer Games Fest and all that, which is pretty funny. But that's hopefully that'll coincide with some other I'm hoping we get. Go for it.
Yeah, and that kind of leads us into some of these game announcements with like
Mm-hmm.
timing, right, with launch date stuff. So
Yeah, I have.
And
I made a spreadsheet of all the games and the dates they came out so that I could give you guys data on like
Bring it on.
the release calendar that came out from this fucking direct, which is a kind of interesting thing to talk about. I don't think a lot of people are talking about out there. Just saying.
I'm into it, so we can get into it. But maybe let's
But later,
cover Drag and Drive
later.
first, and then we'll get then we'll get into that kind of stuff.
Drag and Drive.
But I am hoping that the release date of it is kind of going to lead into us getting some cool announcements from third parties that their games are on Switch too, and including third parties like the other first parties like Xbox and maybe even PlayStation, with them in the last direct showing us that they're going to bring things like Patapon and I forget what the other one was.
Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Oh, there you go.
Well. Yeah.
Yep. So that'll be interesting if we get things like the Xbox showcase. If we get things like Master Chief Collection coming to Switch 2, or the Rare Replay or things like that. You know what I'm saying?
That's how
but
I
anyways,
feel when I hear that kind of stuff.
Here's Drag and Drive. It is a kind of remember that movie Rollerball? It's like Rollerball, but wait, not Rollerball. Murderball. Remember that? Murderball, the documentary about this?
No.
Murderball it's about wheelchair basketball or paraplegic basketball. And it's like full contact, like tackle ramming basketball that people play in wheelchairs, and pretty intense.
Yeah, I know about
but
the
this
wheelchair basketball, but I didn't know it was like people are hurting each other. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's pretty intense. But this looks like Rocket League to me.
Yep.
That's what I'm getting.
That's what I was thinking too. Give me real Rocket League vibe. Two things on this for me. Very close to being canceled if they don't do it right. If it's insensitive, right?
Yeah.
That was like the closest thing that they came to here with the direct. And then I heard that there was no accessibility options on launch for this game, which seems like the worst miss you could have.
Yikes.
Oh man.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it looks like it could be some fun.
I could see this catching some again, there's a couple things that I'm like, God, Nintendo, you're really close to like nailing this. This was a pack-in. I could see it being a really big deal with a bunch of people streaming it, and it being like the game that you have to play to show you how your mouses work. Like at least a pack-in on NSO, you know what I mean? Like, again, Rocket League really took off because of it being, I think it was PS Plus day one when it launched on console. So, like, I just feel like Nintendo's like missing the mark a little bit on some of that kind of stuff. I didn't mention it before, but whatever that other game was, Nintendo
It's let's see.
Tour or something.
This thing. It's
that
called
thing.
Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour.
How is that not a pack-in? Like,
Yeah,
it's like an
look at this.
informational minigame fest. It's like,
You have
what
to
are you
pay
doing,
for
guys?
this.
I know,
So Nintendo Land was a pack-in with the Wii U. I'm just saying.
right?
And it showed you the system
Yeah.
and how to use it. They had Metroid and Animal Crossing and like
Wii Sports
it seems like that.
Doesn't feel like Nintendo wants to give anything for free this generation. They're like, we have a lot of debts to pay.
They have a mountain of money, so I'm not quite sure if that's right.
Oh,
Yeah,
they
it's
just
a
want
weird
more
one.
money then.
This is true.
I mean,
This is the
okay.
new generation. the new
What-
face
okay.
of
Wario.
Nintendo.
What's a good price for
Doug
this?
Bowser's generation?
How much could this cost you for you to be like, whatever,
For $2.99.
$2.99? I
get
agree
that.
with that.
Yeah.
How much was Vampire
Yeah.
Survivors? $3, same thing, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see. But at that point, it's like that's almost devaluing it. You know what I mean? Where like if it
True.
was a pack-in, you'd be like, "This is awesome. This is like one of the coolest things that you can open this up on like you're a kid, Switch day one, and you're like figuring it all out. Like it would be really cool." But
I don't know, man.
but-
I feel like any revenue is better than zero.
No, I guess I'm just saying like the value of you being like, "Oh, my Switch came with
With
Welcome
game.
Oh,
Tour
trust me, I
and,
know what you're
and-
talking about, and I agree with you.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
Astrobot came with fucking the PS5, okay, and that
Yeah,
on its
I'm
own
saying
is
that-
already dope. But
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like,
I'm saying that adds value to your day one experience with your console, as opposed to this is like
not
who's gonna
when
go
you
on and buy
expect
this?
everyone to just keep buying your shit no matter what you do, which is
That's
how
true,
Nintendo
that's
has
true.
operated and will continue to
Oh yeah,
operate.
there's the SD Express cards, which is interesting.
Yeah, you can't use
Yeah,
regular
interesting.
micro SD cards anymore. It has to be a micro SD Express card, and it's red because red means faster.
SDXCEX is what it is.
Yep,
Because I have an SDXC, but now I need an SDXCEX.
that's right.
Exactly.
Can we fucking stop with these?
No.
Like, I just
know.
They're
make
only
it
gonna get
easier.
faster.
God,
They're only gonna get faster.
okay. They'll add more letters onto it. It's EXWUWNDFU.
I will say
you know?
the EX currently line, the Express line, are quite a bit more expensive, but still relatively cheap overall when you leave comparatively to like things like
Plug-in
the
SSDs.
proprietary, or SSDs and things like that. So
Yeah.
I think within a
Okay.
year, a Black Friday sale, you're going to be able to get a 256 gig or a 512 gig or something,
Yeah.
a terabyte version of these. You know, it
Yeah,
won't
by
be so
next
bad.
year I'll just get another, terabyte. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Your first year of Switch games will probably be fine on the proprietary system hardware, and then you upgrade heavily later. So
Yeah, Black Friday 2026, you'll get a terabyte for $150, and then you'll never look back.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. Follow Wario 64 for those deals.
That's right.
And then let's go Elden Ring. Here's the beginning of third party. Bada boom. We got Elden Ring, the Tarnished edition. One thing I wasn't clear on is, does this include Shadow of the Erd Tree or not?
I've looked this up too, of course,
Yes.
because of the psycho that I am. The
You're a
Tarnished
gangster is what
edition.
you are.
The Tarnished edition not only adds Shadow of the Erd Tree, Gage, it also adds new weapons, new armor, and I believe one other thing, maybe another NPC or no,
Customization.
it's customization options for Torrent. Yeah. I don't know
God
if
damn
there's
it, what?
anything else, but it says that at the same time that it comes out, it will be a free update to the regular Elden Ring base
Right.
experience as well. So that means that like the Tarnish edition is basically going live for everyone, except for we had to buy the DLC separately.
Yeah. Oh my god, I'm so excited to customize Torrent if that's possible. Come on.
It
It's
is
an enticing package for me because I have Elden Ring on both my Steam Deck now and my Xbox. But Elden Ring is dope on Steam Deck, first of all. Secondly, having it on a system like this with the Shadow of the Erd Tree is a nice like pack in, and I kind of wonder where the price is going to be. Is it going to be 70, 80,
Yeah.
at least 70.
It begins to be more worth it, I suppose, is what I'm saying. It's a nice pack.
Yeah, I mean, Shadow of the Erd Tree is $30 on its own, right? 30, 40?
Yeah, 40. It's 40.
40.
Yeah.
So if this is under $100, I think it's probably worth it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Big time.
That's awesome. Me and Jacob were talking about it in Slack today. Like, are we about to run it back? Maybe so. And he was saying he's going to do a Mario build and I'll do a Link build, and it'll be great.
Yeah.
That's great.
Only punching weapons.
Be
Or
Bowser
you know what
with
also would be
kicking
hilarious is you do a Kirby build and you do all gravity magic, so you like suck things towards you.
You could do that.
I never understood the advantage of sucking stuff towards you in very dangerous video games.
You
know?
just
I think they get slightly stunned, and then you just big sword them or something.
Steven,
Okay,
it's you don't get it because you don't swallow. Okay.
It's true. It's true.
Wow,
I wouldn't get it. I wouldn't get
Fucking
it.
got you.
got you. Good pausing skills, Jacob, because right after that is Hades 2. No date given, but more this year. So that's cool. I haven't played any Hades 2 yet. I'm excited. I've been kind of like wanting to wait for the full release. I'm assuming that's why they're saying no release date on this yet. They're probably saying when the full game comes out, it'll come,
Yeah, I'm gonna just buy this on Switch straight up, like when it fully releases, I think.
Yeah, the first one was a Switch game for me, and I think it's just the perfect system for it. Or Steam Deck if you got it, obviously. But
Yeah.
I feel like it's a great handheld game.
Uh-oh.
Fucking play this game. If I can play this
Yeah.
game, I have 50 hours in it, and I will play it again when it fully releases. That's how good it is. So.
It's pretty much there, right? It just doesn't have like an ending, or
So it doesn't have a proper ending, and I think they're going to add one more big area, because right now they have the underworld, then they have Olympus, right? Which is
Cool.
a whole second area, and I think there's going to be a third one that they'll add. But yeah,
Sick.
beautiful. Then we had Street Fighter 6. This was I forget what they called it, but it's the Fighters Edition or 1-2 Fighters Edition.
It's Street Fighter 6 Year 1 and 2 Fighters Edition.
Gotta love Street
I
Fighter
think.
naming conventions.
Let's see if I said that right.
Comes
Yes.
with all their updated characters, you know what I mean? Like the
Mhm.
you know, the ones that they've released post-launch and
You
that
can-
kind of stuff, including amiibo support. Go for it.
You can buy a standard edition that doesn't have all the DLC. You can like probably buy
cool.
the DLC separately, like over time if you want that as well. But this will be like your full, like everything you missed that's already happened since launch for Street Fighter 6 in like one package. And then of course, this edition will be coming out to other consoles, I believe, as well. The interesting thing about this is that you can play local wireless battles with the Switch 2, and I think I wrote something else. Yeah,
it's a game
new
share
modes.
one, isn't it?
There will be new modes exclusive to Switch 2 as well,
Cool.
which is an interesting. I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah, Street Fighter has always done stuff like that, where like the arcade version versus the Nintendo version versus the Sega
Yeah.
version has had different stuff, you know. So,
Pretty cool.
Yeah, interesting. And that's where they slipped in amiibo support, by the way. So you know,
Yeah.
anyone who's been collecting amiibos, get it. Then we had I'm stealing this joke. We had Damon Hadfield Ex Machina, Titanic Scion. Not clear to me whether this is a sequel
It
or
is
just an expansion. Yeah,
a
okay,
sequel.
cool.
This is a new game.
I never played the first one.
Wasn't the first one like a 7.5 or something? Like Damon Ex Machina, like.
Yeah, it wasn't. Like,
I don't think it
So-
really
amazing,
blew
that
up
game.
the world.
No, so when it came out, it was just a new mecha game on Switch, which is cool because it's portable. I did not buy it, but then it came out like on Epic or something or Amazon Prime Gaming, and I played a bit
I
of
got
it.
it somewhere.
And I played it a little bit because I was a stoke for Armored Core 7. Was it? Is that the new one?
6.
And yeah, whatever. 6. Sorry, it's been a while, but it just wasn't fully hitting. Like, there's something missing from that game. But like the footage I'm seeing from this one, I don't know. It looks like maybe it's a little better. So probably wouldn't be a bad idea to pick it up.
Yeah,
I'm
it
getting
looks
Armored
cool.
Core vibes from this
hmm
anime Armored Core, which it already kind of was on anime a little bit. But
Literally, like you're describing it to a T what Damon Ex Machina is in general, like the first game. Mhm. So,
Yeah,
could be
we'll
cool.
see. I mean, cool announcement, I guess. A Split Fiction. Joseph Ferris's most recent game is coming to. This is a perfect thing for all the stuff they're talking about with the game sharing and the all that kind of stuff. I feel like just continuing to embrace couch co-op and just homie co-op. You know what I mean? And Joseph Ferris has been the one, or Hazelight has been the one pioneering this share with your friends co-op thing for the last bunch of years now, which is cool. So that's cool to see that there.
Two cool things about this: you can do game share through this game chat thing. So you can just like invite people to your game chat and then game share. Split Fiction will be one of those, and it's a launch title.
Very cool. Then we got EA Sports showing up. FC is going to be there. I'm sure it's going to be somewhat of a downgraded version if the EA FIFA on the original Switch was anything to tell us about it. And then Madden too, which Madden never showed up on the Switch. So that's a big get.
Yeah.
No dates or details really. They just pretty much showed some logos. And then EA also said that Hogwarts Legacy with enhanced graphics and seamless world transitions and mouse features. Like a little Wingardium Leviosa on the mouse there.
So they have certain like little game things in there where you have to trace the thing to like do spells and stuff. So
Yeah,
I imagine
Cool.
it'll be something like that.
I agree, Steven.
Cool. You guys have both played this game, right? I never played it.
It's good.
I haven't played all the way through, but I have played a good amount of it, like 40 hours. So
So don't play this game on hard. Okay, just
No.
you can just chill out, play on
Okay.
normal. I played through it on hard. It's fine. It's just there are some bullshitty things in the hard mode that like
stupid statue
really
bosses.
annoying. Yeah, it's almost like a one-hit thing, so you can make it a Soulsy experience, but don't just play it
Yep.
on normal. And then, like, if you like Harry Potter at all, dude, and any kind of open world exploration experience, like this game is pretty fucking cool.
And it is a launch title as well, so that's good.
Yeah,
And then Tony Hawk's 3+4. This is pretty cool. It looked like they teased a SpongeBob either secret area or maybe full level. Hard to know.
yeah, right. It's right here. Let's see.
Yeah, so they jump off of the pirate ship and then
That's so
load
cool.
into this thing. Yeah,
That is cool.
Sick,
that's such
dude.
a great idea. Like, I mean, even if it's just a little part of it, like that's great. You know, like.
This game's gonna.
I
Rule.
never knew I needed that crossover, but I absolutely do.
But I love it. Yeah, and it actually makes me think like, why not just add a bunch of cool levels from different IP? That sounds like imagine you jump into a Star Destroyer or something. You know what I mean? Like that'd be
Because
so rad.
Activision publishes the SpongeBob games, right?
Oh,
So they
there
can
you
do
go.
this. What
Sick.
else can they put in there? Sekiro. Just kidding.
You just jump in and you're on some old cool like
You're on the
tatami
snake,
rooftop.
bro. You're on the big ass snake.
Oh
there.
my
I
god!
think
that
Elden
would be-
Ring was an Activision title as well, wasn't it?
No, that's
Was it?
that's
It's
Bandai, but
Namco.
but
Oh,
Activision
Sekiro.
did do
Yeah, it was
another-
Sekiro. You already just said
Yeah, yeah.
Sekiro.
Yeah,
that's
it
right.
would, the giant snake would be fun.
All right, that just means I
Right
need
there.
more of this. I need
It's
more of
true.
this. Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead, Gage. Keep going.
Oh, party on. Hitman World of Assassination, which is like the trilogy bundled into one of the most recent Hitman games, which have quietly become some of my favorite games of all time. Like the whole bundle of World of Assassination is a phenomenal game. Like there's just so much content in it, and it's hilarious, and it's just it's a really, really fun stealth / sandbox game. And yeah, play it if you haven't.
Throwing frying
And-
pans at people from across the room is satisfying.
This-
Right, just like dressing up as a serious person and hitting someone with a muffin, and they're like, "Hey, what the fuck?"
This could be a really fun handheld experience. So, like, it might be the one, dude.
I would see myself playing through it again. And then they said another agent besides 47 is coming, and that's Agent 007. I wish we got more details out of this. I'm happy
Me
that they
too.
just reminded us. But imagine that they popped off with a trailer here. That would have been chef's kiss. But
Like GoldenEye style multiplayer kind of upgrade thing, maybe. I don't know.
I mean-
especially with James Bond being like having that tie to Nintendo, like that would have been
Yeah.
hot.
I mean, we know it's coming to Switch. That's at least news.
cool.
Yeah.
That's all we can hope
No,
for, I guess.
it's definitely news, and I'm stoked about that. And it's great just to have a reminder that this is coming for people who don't follow the games industry like us. But
Yeah.
but I really hope we see something for that game at either Summer Games Fest or one of the showcases. We'll see.
Hell yeah.
I think Game
diddle-doo.
Awards more likely, but yeah.
Totally. Yeah, Summer Games Fest doesn't have those big pops like that. Bravely Default Flying Hair HD remaster.
It's Flying
Yep.
Fairy.
I know, but I like Flying Hair.
Flying
She just did that thing with her hair. Anyways,
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. I never played this game, but I heard good things about it from JRPG Nuts when it came out originally. So
It's supposed to be
I
like
don't-
one of the best fucking JRPGs ever made. It came out for I think the Advanced or the DS or 3DS or something. I can't. I
3DS,
just
I believe,
Released
yeah.
it, 3DS, and then yeah.
I
I
want to
do
play
think
this.
there's a Switch. I do think there's a Switch port of the original. But I don't love the chibi style that they're doing right there. But that's all right.
Well, whatever Gage.
Whatever.
It has
Um,
speed. It has battle speed ups, redesigned UIs, upgraded online capabilities, compatibilities, also mouse mini games.
I think every JRPG should let me speed up turn-based battle.
I agree.
If that's an option.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
I've been replaying through the Dragon Warrior games on an allegedly very nice and convenient platform for myself. And it's a crime that I can't speed up those things.
Yeah.
Anyways, Okay, Yakuza 0. I thought it was interesting that they didn't just say every freaking Yakuza game, but maybe they want to just have more pops for that, whatever.
Start with Zero. Zero's the
piece
beginning of the
on.
story.
Yeah.
Yep, it would just be cool
Everybody
if it was
should
like,
start with 0 if you have not played Yakuza. Great game.
Yep.
great, cool. One of these days. Hyrule Warriors: Age of Imprisonment. This is a new game that follows the story of Zelda leading up into TOTK. A Muso game like the original Hyrule Warriors, but hopefully this one runs at more than 11 frames a second.
11. Hopefully this is the 120 FPS one, and just watching those guys go crazy.
Oh my
on
gosh.
that. Oh man.
Interesting.
And I popped a little less after figuring out it was a Muso game, because I'm like, fuck, when is Zelda gonna get her fucking due, man?
I know.
Whatever.
right? For
Muso
real.
games are cool. It's gonna be dope. Fuck you guys.
They are cool, but like from Nintendo themselves, like just let her do the Link thing, but you can be
Right.
Zelda.
She did.
You know how they
It's
have
called
Assassin's
Echoes of
Creed, the
Wisdom.
dual protagonist? What if they did that for Link and Zelda?
Echoes of
That's all I'm
Wisdom.
saying. Yeah, get out of here. with
Yeah,
Echoes
I
of
don't really.
Wisdom. They-
yeah,
It's
I
the
don't wanna
one-
use
and
couches.
That's a
once
Zelda
in a
game.
while. It is.
Look at the Zelda in it. Look at Zelda in this. She's doing cool shit. She's like slashing
Yeah, she's
people with
doing
the
all this
sword.
stuff, and
Come
that's what I
on.
want.
Mine's
Zelda's
sword.
a badass, and also give me
Come on.
friggin' Sheik. You know, give me Sheik.
Sheik
Right,
was in the
give me
first
Sheik.
Hyrule Warriors. That game is good. Damn
Yeah.
it.
Cool.
Y'all
Cool.
suck.
Hell yeah, dude.
Not a bad.
Hell yeah,
platform.
dude.
Anyways,
You suck. Yes. No,
That's true.
never mind. I take it back. You're correct.
So that was a big run through a game, and then they got into our Switch Online stuff. Membership carries over. No price increase announced, which is true. That's a good thing to notice. However, the GameCube expansion is going to be Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive. So that's interesting. Kind of, I mean, to be honest, that's kind of weird. I mean, like I know why, I know all this kind of stuff, but it's like, come on, man. You think the Switch can't run GameCube games? like the
well,
original
GameCube
Switch?
is notoriously hard to emulate.
I
for
know.
whatever reason.
Mhm.
I don't know why, but they have to have a special translation layer software thing for this. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear ya.
I think it's because Nintendo always like puts these really aggressive DRM systems in their systems to like try to curb theft and shit, and it leads to these like hard to penetrate emulation situations. So at least that's how I understand it. But how about the rebrand of Nintendo Switch Online classic game libraries being just called Nintendo Classics?
That's nice.
that
I
fits
think that's
better.
nice.
Yeah.
It's a much easier thing to say than Nintendo Switch Online classic game libraries.
Plus expansion pack, you know.
Yeah. Nintendo Switch Online NES
Plus
whatever.
expansion
Yeah,
pack.
shut the fuck
Yeah,
up.
exactly.
Nintendo Classics. Got it. Perfect. Easy.
Yeah. But you know, that's cool. I GameCube was like one of my favorite Nintendo generations. Kind of a smaller and weirder library, and also probably fueled a lot more by third parties. But I love the GameCube, so this is cool. And interestingly enough, I never believed that the Zelda Wind Waker and Twilight Princess remakes or remasters were a thing. But everyone always said for every single direct for the past 2.5 years that was a thing. But I never thought it was going to be the case. But here we go. We got Wind Waker in this. So it's not the good version of Wind Waker, the best version of Wind Waker. Like the 3DS/Wii U one was definitely the move with they cut out a bunch of the fetch quests on the open world, and when you're in the sea part, which is definitely the most bloated and boring part of the game. And also it was widescreen, so that was nice.
Yeah.
But
and on the Wii
whatever.
U, you could use it as the map and like put little dots
So
on
sick.
things, and like I don't know, man, there was something cool about it.
I know, no, it's definitely the definitive version of that game, so it's a real bummer. But this is looking good. I mean, the art style is so timeless that even this way, it is slightly up-resed, so
it is,
that's
I
cool.
think. Yeah.
It is.
Also, shout out to Soul Calibur 2. That's one of my favorite games of all
Oh,
time.
fuck yeah.
I absolutely love it.
The GameCube version is the best version because you get dope
it's got
ass
Nightmare is cheap
Link
as
in there.
hell.
Yeah,
Love
he
this
is.
game.
Link was
Dude,
broken. in
You
that
could,
game.
if you have no Nintendo Switch Online, you can play any of these games online too, like versus We could play fucking Soul Calibur 2 multiplayer,
I
guys.
love Soul
We could
Calibur
be
2.
in a game chat playing this shit and watching each other and fucking making and laughing and shit. Setting up
It's
tournaments.
it's a great stream.
I mean, come
also,
on.
there's some there's if you just go into the menus in that game, there's some like some key art of Taki that changed my life back in the day.
Yeah, I will second that.
Jesus.
I was awakened by something by those.
You like you a ninja.
Who's the other one? The chick with like the
was it Tally?
Ivy. I think her name's Ivy.
Oh, it was Ivy.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's hot.
Yeah, that was hot.
Yeah.
Anywho, F-Zero GX, which hey, F-Zero lives, man. That's cool, and we could all be playing this game. It's epic.
You could also play this multiplayer over Nintendo Switch
Yep.
Online. Yep.
This game also has a single.
Come on.
This has a single player campaign too, which is fun.
Sick.
Customizable chips and shit too.
I played so much of this game on the GameCube. So
Fuck
much with my brother. Like, I don't know. I just love this game. And I think maybe it's a little too close to like a Mario Kart nowadays, maybe, but I don't know. I feel like you could still do a cool F-Zero.
Oh, dude, I want to. Yeah, you all know my pitch for F-Zero. I want to.
We know
3D third person beat 'em up and then races. That's what I want.
Oh come on!
I like
a
it.
Street Fighter X like Mario.
I want like where
Yeah.
you as Captain Falcon or create a character like have to find your opponent and like get your bounty because he's a bounty hunter, right? And then
you
like
get money to buy ship parts. Oh.
Exactly, and then go do races. That's what I want. Anyways,
Sick.
Say where are we? We are.
I still like
at
my
more
Star
titles.
Fox prediction or my idea where you make your own anthropomorphic animal and have your own like, like squad. Yeah.
That's
Nintendo, make it.
I think you're gonna get. I think you're gonna get a Star Fox on this console. They got to.
I agree. We got a game coming up that shows that it's not all about the one character. Keep going.
I'm excited for that.
So really quick, just a couple of other rattles. Other games coming to the GameCube one: Mario Sunshine, Fire Emblem: Path of Radiance, Pokemon XD, which is trapped to the GameCube and then really hard to find anywhere.
Yes.
Super Mario Strikers, Chibi Robo, Luigi's Mansion, Pokemon Coliseum. Yeah, all sorts of good stuff. God,
Yep.
Strikers, the original, so fun.
Yep.
Pokemon Coliseum, which is pretty much Pokemon Stadium for GameCube, which is awesome.
Yep.
And this all comes out on day one of Switch, which is huge.
That's rad.
Yeah.
I let my Switch Online lapse right before I got rid of my Switch, but this would definitely entice me to come back.
Same.
I think.
Yeah.
Cool. Dedicated wireless GameCube controller with a chat button.
See,
Gotta love their packaging too. If you just go back to that last little screen there,
that's nice.
they are really nice. They are nice.
It's like a shadow box.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. Then we got more game announcements. This was another kind of a quicker rattle off. But Deltarune chapter 1 and 2 are already out, but 3 and 4 are coming out Switch launch day. This is from the Undertale. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yes, from Toby
Fox. Yeah.
Sorry, I've just had the beers are catching up with me. And
You're
the
good, yeah.
lack of sleep. But yes,
I've been
Toby Fox.
drinking Buffalo Trace over here.
I was thinking about pouring a glass of whiskey myself. But yeah, cool, man. For people who love this shit, this is like all time. So
Stoked for
That's
you.
awesome.
Happy for you.
happy for you. One day I do want to. I do actually on 5 Minute Gamer. I want to try Undertale.
It'll happen. We'll make that happen.
It'll happen. Then we got Randy. Get out of here, Randy.
Get out of here.
What is
Rose.
that tuxedo? Like
He thinks
He's
he's
always
so
about
cute,
these
dude.
suits. He thinks he's real cute.
Fuck this rapist. I'm sorry.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm sorry, Mario.
No, I mean,
I'm sorry.
you're not wrong. I know. Why does he always show up?
Oh, sorry, Wario. Wario, I got the drunk.
see yourself out of here. USB.
I'm bored of Borderlands. I never really got into it in the first place, to be honest. I played
3
2.
was
and
already boring. and I got the full package,
Borderlands is my
and I was
joke.
just
Borderlands.
Yeah, bored.
Yeah.
done.
I don't know. I was saying it's like the most ambitious and amazing Borderlands. I mean, that's how you sell your game. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the
Whatever.
gunplay is always fun. It's good
Yeah.
gunplay.
Yeah.
Civ 7 with mouse control, stokage on that. I haven't played any Civ 7 yet, so this would probably be where I actually played Civ 6 on my Switch, and I really enjoyed it. Although I will say that turns took for fucking ever on it, but that's okay.
That's
I will say I
Civilization.
have,
That's
Civ
just how
6,
the game
like,
is.
The complete anthology or whatever on the Steam Deck that I haven't touched that I maybe will one day.
Let's play it.
I maybe will.
Let's
Okay,
play.
okay.
I'll show you how to play Civ, guys. We just have to like play it.
Okay,
I love Civ, but I've never won a match of Civ. I've played many, but
Just whatever
I'm
you
sure
just
I will never win them.
just drop the difficulty down 1 each time you lose until you win, and then slowly
nice.
put it back up.
Love that. Okay, 2K games, WWE 2K, and NBA 2K. So shout out to Foxy Steve, who's excited about WWE.
We love
Good
you,
for him.
buddy. We love you.
Love you for sure. I was watching one of his streams the other day, and Chris Panda was doing some really amazing edits for WWE stuff, which was cool. But it's not for me.
They like doing that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Play it on go.
There you go. Survival Kids. The stream lagged when this was happening, so I missed.
Okay, here,
when
watch
it was
this
out.
shit. Here, I'm gonna
watch it.
I'm gonna hit play on this so we can actually just
Do it.
watch this.
Just like watch it happen real time because it did pause like
And on the court.
through it. It like broke.
Yeah.
Because I was watching on YouTube. I wasn't watching the reaction.
I was watching on YouTube also. Yeah.
And it
Well,
broke and I
I'll
was
hear-
just
I'll hear an echo, but that's fine. All right, here we go. We might as well just react to this.
Why
We'll
not?
put it up.
Yeah.
Just note the time on the recording or something. All right, here we go.
It's coming to Nintendo Switch 2.
Plus NBA 2K as well.
We can't wait to see you in the ring.
And on the court.
All right, here we go.
4 kids find this old tattered man. Off they went, armed with nothing but youthful enthusiasm and a profound lack of preparation. Boom! Terrible at steering a raft. Let's slay some tricks. Awesome! You nailed it!
okay.
Hook, line, and
Nice. All right.
So, multiplayer survival game, 4 players.
Classic.
Alright.
Yeah.
Game
We got
chat.
some-
really have started to master this.
Game chat seems to be maximum 4 players as well. And this is coming out
Cool.
launch day.
Ha! Nicely
It gives me kind of like some short hike vibes in some
Let's
parts.
set sail.
like
This
the art
time,
style kind of thing.
Yeah.
Who develops this? I wonder. Like,
It says it earlier in here. Let me take a look. I can
because
find it.
that's gonna be where my interest lies a little more. I
Yeah.
think. You know what I mean? Because I feel like those games are like a dime a dozen today.
Oh yeah, big time.
100%.
But for a launch title that like something you could do in a game chat, I think that's why Nintendo is like stoked on this.
Yeah.
Konami.
Oh, it's a Konami game. Wow,
Konami Digital
Konami makes games
Entertainment.
again.
Holy shit, that's crazy.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay. I'm more
Interesting.
confused than ever now.
There you go. I mean, I would pick it up if people picked it up. You know what I mean? I'd be like, let's play Survival Kids. That's
But
kinda
that is Jacob's MO though.
You're right.
Might be a
I'll
fun
play
one.
anything.
Might be a fun one for the youth too. You know, like an intro
It's-
survival game for them.
Definitely a kid game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, like I just feel like this is the type of shit that they want to push with their big push with game chat and the new social options.
Why not Grounded? Grounded would have been perfect. Like, from Xbox.
That would have been really true.
Yeah, I
really
mean,
true.
there
Too many
is a
spiders.
there is a Switch edition of that game, so technically it'll be on there already.
Ooh,
That's
There
why.
you go.
Yeah.
Cool.
So there you go. Survival Kids.
Kids. There you go. All right, moving right along. This is one for Steven. Take it away. Enter the Gungeon 2.
Come on, man. I play this game at least twice a week, the first one. And Exit
awesome.
the Gungeon, which is like different. It's like a side scrolling thing, and you're like going up levels like a like the Ninja Turtles games where you fight enemies as you're going up elevators, but it's like an entire game where you do that. And anyways, this looks chaotic. It looks a little
It's
bit
crazy.
Returnal vibes.
Yeah.
With the 3D kind of shift. I love it. I mean, if it's just the first game with 3D and like new levels and guns and stuff, I was already in on the first thing. I'll definitely buy this one. Very short. I think it's like 30-second teaser here, but
Yeah, very short.
looks to be like Bulletkin amalgamation boss kind of thing.
Yeah, it sure does.
Like they're summoning and just like yeah, that's probably going to be one of the bosses that you see at the end of one of the floors.
The floors, yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah,
Super cool.
I feel exactly how you do. To have the exact same thoughts. Although, man, the flip looks even more interesting than the 2D version, huh? He's like doing a jump. Look at him do this crazy. You see that flip? Watch.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
I wonder about the readability though versus the 2D version as far as like bullet hell.
Sometimes when you get polygonal, it gets a little lost in the sauce for sure.
Yeah, I mean it's still like isometric, so at least that won't be as bad as if it was full 3D.
Well, Returnal was what, behind the back, third person?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm stoked.
Cool. Yeah, I'm stoked for you guys. I haven't played the first one, but one day maybe.
5-minute gamer, man.
Yeah. Yes.
There you go.
That's another good one.
That's a good idea. Then we had Starseeker Astroneer Expedition. So this is like a new Astroneer, which is another game already. Looks like a kind of like explore with your friends, Starfield-esque something or other. Not much to say about it, really.
It's
cute.
closer to, what's that space game you always tell me that you're obsessed with?
No Man's Sky.
Yeah, it's like No Man's Sky, but
that's what I meant. Did I say Starfield?
You said Starfield, yeah.
I didn't mean to say that. I meant No Man's Sky.
It's definitely like your son's version of No Man's Sky. But then this one looks even more accessible and interesting because like the original Astroneer it's a little rough around the edges. This actually looks like something that could be enjoyable for everyone to play. So yeah.
2026. Cool. What do we got? We got Cyberpunk 2077. That's awesome. I mean, I don't think I'll play this game for a number of years. I'll probably go back and play it again in like 4 years or something like that. After playing the expansion, I've had my fill for a little while, but God, what a game.
Yeah.
I still need to finish the expansion, but I have it on my Steam Deck anyways, so it's like I'm not gonna buy it again here. So
I was thinking about the ending of one. I did the thing where I save scummed and I saw 2 different endings, but God, one of the endings of the expansion is such a fucking gut punch. It's like the craziest way I've ever seen a video game end ever. It's so sad.
Well, now I gotta see it. Now I gotta play through things.
It was like I just sat there like with my controller not in my hands, just like, oh, did that really just happen? So
cool.
And then I was like, I can't stomach that. I gotta go back and see a different way. And so anyways, that's cool. Play this game. Final Fantasy remake and integrate. God damn it. Just bring it to Xbox, please. What are you doing?
Yes. But also they said at the end of this one that we'll look forward to more announcements about the Final Fantasy VII story. So maybe they're going to bring the next ones later on, for Switch 2. And still not Xbox because fuck Xbox,
Yeah.
It seems like Sony's just, but Square likes X. I don't know. It's so weird.
We'll never know. We'll never know. It'll never make sense. Move on.
Yep. That's true. Okay. Let's do a little rapid fire here. We got Kunitsu Path of the Goddess, except for we do have to stop for this one. Hollow Knight Silksong and a Sizzle Reel.
Yeah.
Damn it.
2025. 2025. It's coming this year, bitches.
That's what they say.
Keep it alive.
Fuck yeah.
Yep. I don't know if this was any new footage or whatever, but just a little like, hey, there you go. Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar that was shown off at the last Direct.
That's because it's the Nintendo Switch 2 edition, the upgrade version.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
that one?
Good Night Universe.
I don't know. Weird baby
2
game.
Point Museum. Yeah, weird baby first person baby game.
Yeah.
2 Point Universe. or 2 Point Museum, sorry. Wild Hearts S, so that must seems to be some sort of upgraded or a new addition to the game.
You want a Monster Hunter, but not really? There you go.
Hey, you want
There you go.
to climb boxes or some shit? I'm not interested.
Yeah.
Continue.
Yeah. Witchbrook, whichever one looks cool from the Stardew Valley
Witchbrook,
publishers.
I'm very excited for.
Yes.
Yep. Puyo Puyo Tetris 2S.
Come on, bro.
cool.
You guys fuck with Puyo Puyo Tetris? Huh?
I do.
I did. I have. Yeah.
I don't have two.
yes.
I bought one on Switch, so I have it on Switch. But two I didn't buy. And this is the S version, dude. And it's gonna be a Switch 2 game. That's what's up.
I'll probably get this. Yeah.
I'm definitely buying it.
Rune Factory, Guardians of Azuma, Marvel Cosmic Invasion, which looks sick and would probably be really fun on this game on this console.
Oh, that's the one from the TMNT guys, right?
Yes.
And Power Rangers person also.
Fucking rad.
Ubisoft showing up here briefly with Star Wars Outlaws. That's cool.
Impressive. That game is very hard to run. So
there you go.
Interesting. Cool. Nobunaga's Ambition, Fast Fusion, Shadow Labyrinth, Switch 2 Edition. This game name, Raidu Remastered: The Mystery of the Soulless Army.
Yep.
And then the next one, No Sleep for Konami Date, from the AI, the Somnium Files.
well, they also had Reanimal from the
That's at the end, yeah.
that one. What's
Oh yeah, this one looks cool.
Yeah, it's the one that's
name of it? It's
what's that one?
Little Nightmares.
Little Nightmares. It's
Little
like
Nightmares. Yeah.
same dev, different game.
It's their Somerville to their Inside. Yeah.
There you go.
There it is.
There you go.
That's a good one.
Fortnite, of course.
Fork knife.
I will say that Fork Knife. I mean, although I will say that the Switch was one of my favorite places to play Fortnite for the longest time. So, except for the draw distance was horrible, and so you could never snipe people.
It was better on mobile.
Yeah, literally, like I would like a thing I could easily snipe in Xbox. I'd be like, I do this all the time, like sitting from this specific house to this specific hilltop. Like I can definitely snipe someone there, but I just can't even see them. Anyways, Arcade Archives 2, Ridge Racer.
Launch day.
Ridge Racer. This is cool. Professor
Layton.
Professor Layton. The new Steam world or whatever it's called. New world of Steam.
Fuck yeah.
It looks cute. Tomodachi Plaza Nintendo Switch 2 edition and
It's
Human Fall Flat 2.
Tamagotchi, dude. Tamagotchi. Remember Tamagotchis?
Oh, it's not Tomodachi. It's
yeah, it's
Tamagotchi.
Tamagotchi. But it's the Switch 2 edition, so it's the upgraded Switch 2 version. Remember, we were talking about this.
Not
great.
confusing.
And then you guys reset. Let's talk about the Dusk Bloods.
Human Fall Flat too, but yeah, Dusk Bloods.
Yeah, I said that already. Okay.
I didn't hear that.
It's all good.
All right, hold on. Let me set it, and then we could do a react. How about that?
Okay.
I'll just have to clip these out myself.
I got timestamps.
Yeah, as long as you get the timestamps. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
The next game will be
Let's watch the Dusk Bloods trailer. A new Miyazaki FromSoft game, guys. Let's go.
Hell yeah.
Maybe our protagonist?
I think that guy's dead.
He's about to get some vampire blood.
He may be dead.
I give you my blood.
It's always a maiden.
If you're into that.
I give you.
I mean, in From Software games.
My life.
Oh, yeah.
Turn. O wheel.
Kind of dollish, though, too.
Kinda.
The massive hand versus hers.
Yeah, true.
To humanity's very dust.
New curse mark.
There's a hole in the middle.
Is that where he was bit?
Maybe. The hand had nothing on it before.
Where they put some blood in.
It's very England.
Oh yeah, love the
More
steampunk
Bloodborne
train.
than Elden Ring.
Yeah, it seems more modern than
Lawrence?
steampunk.
Is that Lawrence?
But it also
Lawrence.
feels like steampunk at the same time. It's like weird how old but also modern it feels.
It's kind of like Gotham in like some of the old Batman comic-y things.
Dude, that's a really
They
great
got a
analogy.
mashup of a different, like, a bunch of different themes. It seems
This guy, Steam Machine.
Yep.
like. Yeah. Dude, that's interesting. Whoa. He's flying.
It's a good song.
Yeah. A little
Yeah.
Armored Core coming in.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Fucking Zelda Moon.
That reminded me of Bloodborne more because like the spider.
Oh yeah. But the moon has like the biblically accurate angel wings.
Angel. Yeah, totally.
Also, is he a vampire? But also, he's like
It
sucking.
looks like he sucks soul
dust.
of some kind.
Yeah.
So
This
he's
guy's
a
fucking.
Kirby.
Oh wait, hold on. I'm gonna go back.
Go back.
Look at those frogs.
Cheshire Cat.
I was about to say big titty frog.
I feel like it's like his
Big titty
like his
frog.
lungs, you know.
There you go.
Big titty.
It's like exo lungs.
Oh,
Whoa.
summoning?
I didn't notice that before.
Me
That's
either.
cool.
As befits the soon to depart.
Very. Look at the airborne nature of the jumps.
The fucking guns.
Yeah. Also the machine gun.
Blythe.
There's Blythe.
Alligator Blythe? He looks more like Alligator Blythe. Sick. T-Rex?
Steven wants that.
Did they just transform into that?
I think so.
This sick-ass
I'll
blade
play as
thing?
that character.
You want to be the T-Rex?
Yeah, I want the T-Rex. The
It
one
kind
that
of looks
turns-
like the T-Rex suit, you know, the ones from the
Yeah, it
meme.
looks like the. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. The inflatable T-Rex suit.
What about the
This
dude with
guy's
the
sick.
chonies? The chony guy with the
Yeah,
iron mask.
with the long johns. Yeah.
We don't
Long
like
John's
that.
Iron
We
Mask
don't like
Man.
Yeah.
Oh, and then don't
Damn.
forget rat/bird
Oh.
creature.
The
Little
closest
rat-
thing
rat
to Elden
bat.
Ring art style that I saw. In this.
True.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, with the runes. Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
Yep. Or what are our thoughts on this?
Can I start? This feels to me like since Sony owns the Bloodborne IP, that Miyazaki was like, "Fuck it, I'll do it myself again," and I'll add some different stuff. So some details I just wanted to mention while we're here, that they have talked about it being a PvPvE game, which is interesting. We've speculated maybe it's sort of extraction like, or like a persistent world that you might see other sort of MMO-ish style. You might see other players, maybe you can fuck with them, or you could work together, or you could that sort of tension. I love the art style. I love it's got some Elden Rings sky boxes with some Bloodborne like architecture, and man, I'm really hyped. This is, of all the games that we saw, this is the one that is like, fuck, do I have to buy this system? You know what I mean? So we'll see.
The
Yeah.
answer is yes.
Yes.
What do you think, Steven?
I loved Bloodborne. It's probably my favorite FromSoft game. Armored Core is the close behind.
Oh, yeah,
Core 6,
amazing.
like very awesome game. But you got the titty frog here. It's like really selling the game for me.
It's a big titty frog.
There's gonna be swamps in this game. I'm now
Always.
a little less excited because I hate the swamps and swamps. Okay, but realistically though, this should be really fun. I kind of hope it's not an extraction thing, and I hope that there's more single player. It's like a full, robust, like PvE experience. Because we're already getting Night Rain. We're already getting that like, all right, here's the fully multiplayer thing that's like kind of similar vibes. I feel like that's where I'm getting worried, is like, is this gonna be similar to that in terms of the PvE side of it? Like, I guess we don't know a whole lot yet, but the PvE could also get annoying if there's like a meta that's like, I don't know. I'm very excited for the world. I'm very excited for the themes and everything that they do with FromSoft games, but
Mhm.
the modes and how you interact with the game are where I'm kind of most concerned. But that's
Yeah, absolutely. Jacob, your thoughts, and then we can get more into the details.
I'm all in. All right, let's throw me in there. I'll play. Guess what? If you want to play a single player experience like this, Elden Ring will be on your Switch too. You can play that. That's fine. And that also has multiplayer modes. This is just going to be a cool another experience from Miyazaki. It is directed by Miyazaki-san. So it will have the juice, it will have the sauce, and it will be good. Of course, it's going to be different, and I know that people are worried about the multiplayer nature, but like I've been saying over and over again with the Switch 2 presentation and our breakdown blowout of this direct, multiplayer and social stuff is the big point of the big tent pole of the Switch 2, and this exclusive game made by From Software specifically for the Switch 2 proves that point as well. And it just leads into that. So I think it's, again, going to be another reason to fire up game chat with your friends, hop on fucking the Dust Bloods, and run around and squad up and do what you got to do, and maybe kill some people as a T-Rex or whatever you got to do. I'm totally down. I'm totally down. I think it's great. I think it's going to be an excellent game, and I think we're all just very, very surprised that this game, just like when we first saw the Night Rain in whatever director showcase, like same thing. We're
Awards,
like, what the fuck is happening? From Software is so good at what they do, and they just the output is just baffling, and it's just a sight to behold. So yeah, that's where I'm sitting.
My daughter was very taken aback when I was yelling at the screen at 6:30 in the morning. What the hell is that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she's like, "What? What's happening?" Because I didn't pop for anything the way I popped for this. And similar to the way that Jacob called it when we were watching the Game Awards and doing our react to that, I was like, "That skybox looks like FromSoft."
Yep.
And sure enough, yeah, I like Steven. I'm a mix of both of you, where I'm a little trepidatious because when there's like the one thing I think about Night Rain is that I'm not worried about the fact that you're not really picking up a lot of like lore secrets or world building in Night Rain, because it's based off of an adjacent Elden Ring scape, and therefore like just having some cutscenes and maybe getting lore in the round table hold when you're in that game is going to be enough for me, because I got the big bite. But since this is a new world, I do hope there is enough downtime, I guess I should say, to really just take it all in. And that's my favorite part about Elden Ring and Bloodborne in a lot of ways too, is just the exploration and the discovery elements of it, and seeing these little pieces of environmental storytelling around the world. And so this game, to be fair, looks more like you're going to have opportunities to do that, but I just hope that it's not a situation where like you're constantly battling the PvP part of it just to do the regular rest part of the game, the solo element of it. So, but I am also at the same time completely trusting of Miyazaki-san and FromSoft in general, and I know I'm going to be excited. So,
hell yeah,
amazing.
For the thumbnail, I'm gonna need you to put the titty frog on there.
Titty frog? Okay, deal.
And
I had the cool Blythe guy in there, but I'll change that. That's a great idea. 2026, so no one could hop on Fantasy Critic for this.
Not till next year.
Damn.
Not till next year.
All right.
Party on.
Couple more things,
Then we.
right?
Oh yeah. Also, real quick, there's going to be these creators' voice articles that are coming out about different development things that are happening, and Miyazaki-san is going to have one, I think, on April 4th. That should be coming out. So that'll be cool. We'll learn more about what this actually is, and all our hopes, or all our worries, will be squelched, and all our hopes will be amplified. I hope so. Here we go.
Hell yeah.
Next up, we have Kirby Air Riders by Sakurai-san himself. The man created Kirby and loves himself some Kirby.
And who took a while off and then came back.
Yep.
Well, he stumbled upon one of the biggest games of all time, which was Smash Bros. But this looks to be just him. He's like, I'm older. I'm wanting to take a break. I'm just gonna make an air ride game.
Fuck yeah.
I never played Kirby's Air Ride, so I don't know what it's about, but cool.
Me either.
It's just a fun racing game. It's just like a fun, like,
really
fast-paced racing game. Yeah, for the GameCube, I loved it. It was good.
Interesting.
Hell yeah.
Air Riders. That's a funny
That's right.
treatment. I like it. Cool, man. 2025. So there you go. Masahiro. Then we have, this would be arguably the other biggest announcement. And, I have my friend here with me. And it beckons to have a partner next to it that it can live by. And this game that was announced today might just help me to get there. You never know.
Shut the fuck up.
Just be quiet your mouth. Be still your lips.
Be still my lips. Here we go. We got the donkey. We got the big conga
That's
man.
Right. Donkey
He's the leader of the bunch.
Video game donkey popped off for this shit today.
Oh, there you go.
This looks awesome.
It looks so good.
Is this from EAD, the same Mario Odyssey guys?
I believe so. That was the rumor, and it looks like Odyssey to me. I mean, you know what I mean?
It looks like very Odyssey coded.
It does.
And Red Faction Gorilla, come on.
Looks like you
literally
can destroy the level like so many different ways. Like it's not just it doesn't even look like specific places to destroy the level. It's like destroy everything. Fucking do whatever. Just smash like you're the Hulk.
I want to see like that YouTube video that comes out like day 2 where someone just like flattened the entire world.
Yeah, they took the time to just go through and it got all flat. Yeah,
exactly. I destroyed
so awesome.
there. I did it. I ruined it.
Dude, Cat Bailey called it. There seems to be like a celebration of like Donkey Kong, similar to like Odyssey was for Mario, right?
Yeah,
100%.
And I really hope that, like she said, that it will be where Donkey Kong is throwing the barrels at Mario at some point.
That'd be awesome.
Like in a side level or something. Doesn't have to be the main story or whatever. It would just be fun.
Totally. I think I lost my train of thought, but I think now I know. I think this is a bit of Nintendo kind of reclaiming Donkey Kong in some ways, right? From the Rare years, they changed his design back to the one reminiscent of the box art from the original Donkey Kong. I think they're they're not that Rare, not that they have any beef with Rare, but just the fact that like they seem to be bringing Donkey Kong back into the fold. Like, this is reclaiming that this is a core Nintendo franchise, both with the Mario movie, with the Donkey Kong Country expansion to the theme park, and then now this.
Absolutely. Not to mention like 3D Donkey Kong. We haven't had one since Donkey Kong 64, which all these youngsters like really romanticize. And taking like that concept of a 3D Donkey Kong game and not just making like a collectathon weird gun game / platformer and like having him destroy everything in his fucking path like a destructive monster from hell is really fucking cool. Again, awesome. Here comes Nintendo doing innovative things with their established IP, giving us something to look forward to and not just the same old shit, which is just what they've always been good at doing. And I just cannot fucking wait to get my hands on this game. Not to mention,
so fun, man.
The music is dope. Watch this trailer for yourself. It is incredible.
And Donkey Kong games
smiling the whole time.
Yeah,
just endorphins, and just as you just get the satisfaction of bursting everything. Yeah. But Donkey Kong, I mean, some of it was because of Kirk Hope and Rare's amazing soundtrack scores. But in general, Donkey Kong games have always had pretty magnificent music and kind of groundbreaking music also. So I'm glad that there's a focus on that here. I'm interested about this little purple Geodude guy that seems to be your little companion.
Who's your little buddy?
Looks cool.
who want to
Looks
know?
cool, man. I'm into it. I'm assuming this game is just going to be full of mostly just really fun gameplay, and then probably a kind of wacky and ridiculous story. But I trust Nintendo to just fill it with fun and wonder and all that jazz. So
Yeah, I'm
Hell
trying to get
yeah.
a good. There we go. I'm trying to get a good picture or video of this guy. Let's see. Is there a close up on him?
he's
a
like
good-
always
Right-
on, he
right
seems
there,
to always
right
be on
there.
your back. There it is. Beautiful.
Boom. Yeah.
Good job.
What's with this
Amazing.
little guy? Who are you?
He's got like shiny fur. Look at him.
He is pretty
Well,
shiny.
you know, like with you breaking through all these rocks and stuff, it seems like maybe like I don't know, you're collecting like nuggets of gold and stuff
You'll
instead of
collect
bananas.
stuff, right? Like,
Yeah, I think he's
Yeah.
just slick with like donkey sweat.
Gross.
yeah.
Love it. Cool. Well, that is and then, you know, I just have to say I don't know why, but I read that article from it's literally 2021 Nintendo Life article about Nintendo EAD working on a Donkey Kong open 3D world platformer, and
Fuck
for
yeah.
some reason I just believed that article for this longest time, and I had to listen to Nintendo voice chat for years. Was just like, where, like, I know the next Mario Odyssey 2's got to be coming, like da 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 da, and I was always just like, no, it's not. It's Donkey Kong, man. They're going for it, and I don't know.
All right.
July 17th is crazy.
Yeah.
I'm here.
That's true.
Dude, that is like 3 months away only.
And like, you know,
Wow.
a month and a half, give or take away from launch. So it's pretty much a launch title. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It'll
yeah.
it'll be one of those games that when we talk about it years later, oh yeah, that was a launch title, right? But we'll forget that it was a couple weeks later. But
Yeah, exactly.
okay, let's get through the rest of this here real quick. We have Nintendo Treehouse Live stuff that's going to be coming tomorrow and the next day. They're long. They're like 3 to 4 hours each of them.
Yeah.
You know, it'll be the type of thing I put on in the background at work and maybe see something eventually.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
along with those, we're gonna get like the things like the Miyazaki art person. I forget what they call it. Whatever, from the
Yeah.
artist type of thing.
The
So
game,
that'd be cool.
all the stuff they're going to show at the Treehouse. I'm going to run through these. I'm going to read them as fast as I can. Here we go. Mario Kart World, Game Chat, Mario Party Jamboree plus TV, Drag X Drive, Street Fighter 6 Years 1 to 2 Fighters Edition, Zelda Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom Switch 2 editions plus Zelda Notes, Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour, hopefully the price, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Bravely Default Flying Fairy HD Remaster, Kirby Forgotten Land Switch 2 edition plus Starcross World, Nintendo GameCube Classics, and finally Metroid Prime Beyond Switch 2 edition. All shown in the next 2 days.
Amazing. So yeah, deeper dives into that. And then I also did want to mention that we forgot to mention earlier, there is going to be a Mario Kart World Direct specifically for that game, I believe on the 17th of this month. So that's cool. Just get all the gritty details about that, I'm sure. Wow, 3 Nintendo Directs in a month. That's crazy. Well, technically the other one was in March, but you know, end of March.
But like in 30 days, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I wanted to get into kind of maybe arguably the most negative part of this, so we don't have to spend too long on it.
Yeah.
But but there was a lot of discussion. One, because the pricing was not shown in this direct. I think that has been kind of an annoying trend. I think Sony has done a lot of this lately of putting out like these details that are, to me, an important part of this. I mean, we're watching a marketing thing that they are putting out. It's from the company. It's an extended commercial that we all enjoy and love because they make them fun and they make them an event. But at the same time, like, if you're doing a thing to market a thing, like, put the thing out there. You know what I mean? And it was really annoying, like you said at the top of the show, Jacob. Like, why do we have to fish for the price and get it from these potentially unreliable sources and then eventually real sources, and just a weird thing? And then the pricing being, you know, we're getting leaks from Spain and you know, the yen version and the you know, the pound version, and it's just like, can we just get the official thing right away? You know what I mean? So the price of the Switch, I'll say it and then we can get into it, but $449 for the console itself, and then there is an available Mario Kart bundle for $499, which is a steal when we get into the price of what Mario Kart itself is. So what are you guys thinking about the price of the system overall?
I'm fine with it, man. It seems like it's full of technology. It's full of what's the word? Potential.
Totally.
I'm looking forward to the features. I'm looking forward to the games. There's a lot of Switch games. Switch 1 games that I don't own because I've been waiting for the Switch 2 and to see how much easier it is to use and all that stuff. And with these upgrades and stuff, I mean, fuck it. Like, I'm down. $450. I mean, yeah, maybe it's $100 more because $500 is what I would want to spend because I want Mario Kart. Mario Kart clocking in at $80 digital, which is kind of to me the real negative point of this, and then $90 physical, which is even more expensive and completely insane.
Yeah.
But
Insane.
if you get the bundle, Mario Kart's only $50, so that means the game could be $50. But they're going to make sure it's $80 or $90. But then again, that sets a precedent for games. Prices can go up to $80 now as a base price. Once it's happened once, it could always happen over and over again, and it can even go further. On top of tariffs and all the bullshit that's happening here in America, who knows how much this shit will really cost by the time we buy it. So it sucks to see, but like as of the console, like $500 for the Switch 2, in my mind, it's worth it. It's totally worth it, and I'm really excited for the console. So like that's just I'm just more like I won't even say worried. Like the dam is broken. $80 for a digital video game is now a reality. I'm just
100%.
sad. I'm sad that we're here, but it is what it is. Like I don't know.
Yep.
That's all I got.
Absolutely. Steven, I'm going to pass it off to you, but I did just really quickly want to say, I do kind of feel like the Nintendo feels like the price of the console is $500, and like they're giving you Mario Kart as part of that sort of thing, but like then they're like, okay, then we'll kind of take the hit on the $449 just because it looks better for the Switch only. But I would assume that like a good chunk of people are just going to go for that Mario Kart bundle. You know what I mean? Like almost as if it's a pack-in game, and they're kind of just saying like, here's a pack-in game, sort of thing. And like we saw with Nintendo Switch 1, where the Mario Kart bundle, the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe bundle was like the one that they put as their Black Friday deal for literally every year of the Switch. And it was like maybe $40 cheaper or something than the original. Anyway, it's just hilarious.
Totally.
So, that I think Nintendo just is pretty much like, here's the Switch, it's $500 with Mario Kart. Like that's the vibe. But if you're really a cheapskate, here you go. But you're probably gonna buy Mario Kart later for $80, so get fucked. Anyways, Steven, your thoughts?
So it's a limited time production on that until like March of 2026, if I'm right.
Interesting.
I caught that at like the bottom graphic of that. Anyhow,
Nice.
Scalpers are gonna be all over this like flies on shit. I did manage. I'm one of the people who managed to get a launch day Switch. Like I pre-ordered one from GameStop. It was like I had a receipt and everything, and I had to wait in the line, of course, to get it. But because they weren't doing online to help with like the scalping shit. Like,
which is a good thing they're doing. And real quick to detail that they offered
doing
a thing where if you have an online Switch account and you have over 50 hours played on your Switch account, then they're giving you a priority link or something to be able to.
So I do have it, but I don't have the online. So it's like
I don't have current online, but I have
the online. I have had
I'll look that up.
Collectively 12 months of online, right?
Me too.
Like over the span of it, and then like definitely 50 hours on it. But I'm hoping I just get an email because that would be much easier to try to maybe avoid some of the bullshit. That was my big thing, is like price gouging is going to be a thing. On top of it, like, yeah, sure, it's going to be $4.99. And that's a great price. I think it's a great price to kind of sit where we're at in the economy and things like that. I think it's a great asking price for the tech inside of it too. The games. The games was kind of a bit of a gut punch when we just had an announcement of moving to $70 for Tears of the Kingdom as the first game to do that, if I'm right.
And on the other consoles, the Xbox and that this
and-
generation was the first time that we got $70 games. So
and we got $70, and I feel like that was just maybe 2 years ago, right? Less than. And now we're at $80 and $90 for the games. What's more alarming to me is, yeah, maybe we should have been paying this price. I don't know. But the rate at which it's going up is alarming to me, more so than like the actual price, which does kind of suck still. Don't get me wrong. And then there's also a confusion with like Donkey Kong Bonanza's $70 on some places, and then I kind of want to wait for that to like settle out before really getting into it, because I'm hoping Nintendo kind of gets their shit together and gets like a standardized price for stuff, because then I'm like, oh, is it gonna be $60? Is it gonna be $40? Is it gonna be $80? It's like, and what makes that decision more valuable or less valuable? That's kind of where I sit on it, is like I'm just confused really, and like alarmed a little bit at the rate it's going up. That's all.
Yeah, I have this graphic here. I'm gonna pull up. Sorry, Gage, go ahead.
No, please, you can pull it up. But while you do, I'm just saying, the thing that I think Nintendo and maybe Japan in general is better at this. But with things like, it's kind of a double-edged. It's a weird one, because on the one hand, I think most of us would be happy to say, hey, game development has ballooned. It is more expensive than ever to make a game. So we are willing to support the development teams by paying more upfront and not having them have to do things like microtransactions or, that kind of bullshit, and to be able to support creative development teams to be able to continue to making the amazing art that we love from them. But if the last 4 or 5 years has been any indication, the layoffs aren't going to stop. The companies aren't going to stop chasing infinite growth. And chances are that this extra $10 or $20 per game is not necessarily going to save people's jobs, or necessarily save, or the relationship between the consumers and the people who make the art that we love is not necessarily going to be saved by this increase in cost. And so if we see, Nintendo doesn't really announce things like layoffs and stuff all that much, but like, if Sony and Xbox follow suit and we start seeing $80 games, and then there's another 1,000 people laid off at Microsoft, I'm going to be like, so what the fuck was all that money for then? You know what I mean? Like, so that's where my disconnect is with the pricing increase.
Yeah, but take a look at these games. I mean, the Kirby and the Forgotten Lands Switch 2 edition, because it has the extra content, that's $80.
Yeah.
But Street Fighter 6, which includes every fighter and DLC that they have put out since launch, which has been like a real, like, actual next gen game, and the Kirby game being a Switch 1 game with some visual enhancements and some new content, that's only $60. And across the board, even like Donkey Kong will be $70. Mario Kart will be $80. I mean, obviously Donkey Kong will be a 3D but like contained experience, whereas Mario Kart World is like open world and it seems big. Maybe that's what it is. But then it's like the Breath of the Wild Nintendo Switch 2 edition is $70, but the Tears of the Kingdom is $80. So it's just kind of all over the place.
Why?
It's crazy. I don't know really what to say here.
And then my thought with Mario Kart was that maybe this was my optimistic. Hopefully, this is Nintendo doing kind of some what Nintendo has kind of. Maybe this is some Nintendo holding on to some of their old world vibes or standards. Is like maybe they are going to continue to update Mario Kart for a long time, and they know that, and therefore they're like, you're going to get a bunch of free content for this for years to come. So let's front load the price instead of charging you for those packs later. But what if they just charge for packs later? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm just nervous that that's not going to happen. So we'll see. I don't know. It's a weird one.
Yeah, it's weird, but it is what it is, and here we are. But
we'll pay for it because it's Nintendo.
Or we won't. Here's my thing. I
will.
With all of this, like,
you might not, but I will.
This definitely made me say, I'm most likely not going to buy a Switch 2 until the Duskbloods come out. I will wait and see if there's a Black Friday deal next year, or if there's upgraded or updated
that's like
trade-in
that's the
things.
system seller for you though, right? Like For
It
me,
is.
it's Metroid Prime. For someone else, and so that's going to be really to be dependent on what you enjoy more. So
Yeah.
It's also like I'm planning on making a relatively other big purchase, and I'm probably going to get a Steam Deck, or potentially if this new ROG or Asus Xbox tablet is something that interests me, I think that might end up being my next major hardware purchase. So for me, I don't see myself buying a Switch 2 for maybe a couple of years, and then with Nintendo not really decreasing its prices on games throughout the entire lifestyle of the thing, I don't know. It is gonna make me think twice if I am getting a lot out of other portable handheld systems. There might be something about it that turns me off ultimately, but we'll see.
Yeah.
What about you guys? Are you thinking about Switch day one, or what are you thinking?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm that guy. I'm the guy.
I want it.
That. What they're selling to me seems appealing. You know, the social features that I've been desperately missing from like being able to be on the couch with my friend or whatever. Seems to be a little closer to that. Like obviously not the same, but back to like the Wii Fit days where like, you know, you'd use the balance boards and just look stupid doing some of the exercises on it. Or WarioWare stuff. I just imagine a WarioWare on this would be really fun, right?
Telling you, man.
So just stuff like that, dude. I'm in. And of course Metroid Prime. But yeah.
I'm just saying when Steven and I have our Switch 2s and we're playing, we're gonna be like, wish Gage had one with us.
No,
I wish Gage was here.
And that's the type of thing that would sway me. You know, like if all of these experiences are coming out and they are magical and people are really enjoying them, as you know, if we're seeing the value in all of them and all that kind of stuff. But I waned on my Switch usage a lot, like for the last year that I had my Switch, and then I sold my Switch a year ago, and I haven't missed it because I've been playing Xbox games on my iPad in bed, and you know what I mean, and like, you know, with things like Game Pass, with things like Steam sales, like I have so many games. I'm not at a place where, so I think Nintendo is valuing their games as being extra special. That's why they're pumping them up to $70, $80, $90. Sure.
Yeah.
But like, I don't have a history with Donkey Kong. I don't necessarily know that that's like, I mean, it is probably going to be fun, and the gameplay is king in Nintendo, and it's always enjoyable. But I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. And the game price increase with a lack of promises of game sales and game deals, the same way that like a Steam library has, it does turn me off in a day when I already have so many games to play.
Sure. That's fair, but dude, it's Nintendo.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
I grew up with Nintendo.
That's gonna be the thing.
NES was my first console, so I've always liked Nintendo. Even though I haven't bought a Nintendo Switch 1 game basically in several years and never really touched my Switch 1. But I'm just stoked for the Switch 2. I feel like it's going to be a better... I feel like out the gate, the Switch 1 was underpowered. And with this one, it's looking good. It's looking good out the gate. And it has enough features where I think at launch, there will be a big wave of gamers playing this thing and messing with this thing. And I kind of want to just be a part of that movement. It looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
That's totally valid. So yeah.
And so is your opinion, of course. Absolutely valid, and I totally get it.
Yours is the more reasonable opinion. Let's be real here.
It's all reasonable. It's all our free time.
It's all
money.
I think 100%.
So. I'm just saying that it's like, look, if you don't care, you don't care. Fucking save the money. Play Game Pass games, dude. There's so much to do and play, but it's like, you know. But I want a game chat with Steven.
No, I hear you, man, and I think Jacob, you really have keyed into the fact that Nintendo is putting this at the tentpole of the system. Like the new Nintendo gimmick is just social gaming, you know, and that's really cool. And I think Nintendo could put a spin on that invigorates all of us, like in a similar way that Xbox Live did in its early days. You know, like there's a Nintendo-ness that they could bring to that could make it a whole new level of like charm and enthusiasm. So we'll see.
Hell yeah.
Holy fuck, that was a lot, guys. We did it.
I know.
Jacob, What an immaculate document you created. It
Thank
really
Yes,
is,
that was hella great.
it really is
Fleshed
amazing.
it out for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any final thoughts? Jacob, if you want to pull up that infographic real fast, I have a couple more minutes.
Sure.
Let them see your handiwork.
Well,
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'll just show them because they're like PDFs and stuff, so I can at least show them that bullshit. So here's the Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2 accessory compatibility list. So you can use Joy-Cons, you can use your Pro controller, you can use your special, Nintendo Switch Online controllers for each system. But then basically everything you would expect doesn't work for Switch 2, like the dock and, the proprietary stuff. The SD cards, we know they use a new one. The GameCube controller adapter, unfortunately, which I bought, and then nobody fucking ever came over and played Smash Bros with me, so that's sad. But I do have it. So shit like this, and then so that's one of the graphics.
Is not going to work, right? Because it's not Switch 1 controllers. So
yeah, it specifically fits, like all these things fit a Joy-Con 1 basically, and so that's why it's like, yeah, obviously these things will work. So no surprises here. It's really with the games that aren't available list. That's just a little interesting. But I think that it makes sense. Like, again, we were sort of talking about it earlier, but it's just how the games are coded and stuff. So these games will start up, or no, these games won't start on the Switch 2. So something about the way that the code is just doesn't work. But again, as you can see, there's a status. Issues being investigated. They're trying to figure out why won't the game launch.
I think they're going to do a lot of way like
Fortnite.
Xbox did with their back compat stuff, right? Hopefully they have just like a team that does that or whatever.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. I mean, again, this issue is being investigated, so I'm sure there's something happening that they just don't understand. And then with Fortnite, it's just the Switch 1 version won't work. There'll just be a Switch 2 version at launch. That kind of stuff. And then it's just like most of these games I think all of these games are third-party games too. So it's just like, yeah, it's just issues that with porting,
Warframe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So once they
it might be like
fix it could work.
Some of those I could see being like anti-cheat, maybe.
Very much so. Very much so.
Steam Deck has a problem with anti-cheat games.
Yeah.
So that could also be the problem here.
They need to get these fixed. These Star Wars Episode 1 Racer and Star Wars Dark Forces remaster fixed.
Ooh,
but
I own Episode 1 Racer. Donut Dogs in the chat says Doom with mouse support would be really nice. That's true. I am interested. I feel like we got to be getting announcements about Xbox games coming at some point.
Oh yeah,
this makes me think too. Side note. I want one of those little lap things so I can be in my bed and just use the mouse with the fucking
I have
Switch.
one.
Yeah. You need
Greg
one.
Miller was joking that Nintendo's going to sell a proprietary one. I love that. I'm like, yeah,
dude, I would buy it.
With like a cool Mario graphic on it.
Yeah.
Okay, and then this is the other list, which is even smaller. So like the games launch, but then they probably crash or something, and it's just certain games like Harvestella sticks out to me. There's just something about that game. Again, it could be like you said, anti-cheat, whatever. So, but again, the fact that they're saying this issue is being investigated to me tells me that most of these games will eventually run on it. So we'll see. We'll see about that. The only other thing I have, which I won't bring up a graphic for it, is I just made a tally of the games that we're seeing. So at launch on the Switch 2, not counting Switch 1 games that are just Switch 1 games that'll just play, there's 21 games coming out at the same date that the Switch 2 launches. So that includes the upgrades to games, the Switch 2 edition of games. It includes all of the new games as well as ports for games that are already out and stuff. So when you get your Switch 2 day one, you have 21 basically brand new experiences to choose from, which I think that's a pretty big list. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
But
then launch lineup.
Yeah, from then on though, you have games going basically every week all the way up until basically the end of July, and then one August and one at the beginning of September game. So basically, like, in this direct, they've set us up all the way through the summer. Plus, like, whatever may get announced during Summer Games Fest and stuff like that. So that's pretty solid. Games that are Switch 2 titles, are Switch 2 edition upgrades, or are brand new games coming to the Switch 2, which is pretty cool. But then we have 2 holiday 2025 games, 1 summer 2025 game, and 1 winter 2025 game. We have 9 games that just say 2025. We saw 2 games for 2026 only, which is kind of surprising that there's only 2 of them. So most of the stuff,
Duskbloods being one of them, and the other one was I think Tomodachi Plaza or something. Anyways, yeah.
I can't remember the other one.
Well, I know in the last direct that Tomodachi I don't remember.
Tomodachi Life
is
they didn't bring that up in
2026.
They didn't bring that up.
No, I know, but in the
Plaza, right?
in the last direct, it was or Living the Dream, whatever it was the subtitle. Is set for 2026, so that's probably going to be although it was in the Switch 1 direct, but it'll probably have a Switch 2 version.
Oh, yeah, everything in the Switch 1 direct is coming to Switch 2 as well, obviously.
Yeah.
But no, it was Starseeker Astroneer Expeditions. That was the game.
Okay.
Okay. And then of all the games shown, 10 of them had no date. So I think overall, like, what does that give us? That gives us already like the first, or like a chunk of the middle of the year of games that we know, games that we don't know exactly when they're going to come, but will come this year. And that leaves room for games we don't even know about. So I feel like getting a Switch 2 at launch, to me, seems like a good option. You won't be content light. Plus, all the entire library, almost, minus 120 games of Switch 1 games.
A far cry from Switch 1 lineup where you have Snipper Clips and Breath of the
Zelda.
Wild.
And they didn't even have NSO at that point or whatever. So that's the other thing, is if you have NSO, you have all those GameCube games that are going to be feel like new after that long, you know what I mean? And not to mention all the old NSO games are still there. And so if you're now taking advantage of things like Game Share and stuff like that, you could be playing, the original Super Smash Brothers with your friends in a room, my friends and I, like, that's one of the only, like, still, like, couch co-op experiences that we still do from time to time. Like, I was at a bachelor party a couple of weeks back, and we busted out the N64 with old N64 controllers with janky ass broken sticks, and we all played like OG 64 Smash, and it was amazing, so
now you can do it better.
Now you can do it better. Hopefully. I don't, definitely better. It's good. N60. It's so hard to find N64 controllers without shitty ass sticks at this point.
Yeah.
But anyways. Well, guys, that was amazing, and thanks for putting that together, Jacob. That's a good little insight into what's coming and what we can expect for the launch year. I'm assuming Nintendo's probably gonna even hit us with more during the Summer Games Fest period.
So I'm telling you, dude. So I'm telling you.
Yeah. We'll see. So, I mean, I could be wrong about a 3D Mario not being here this year. Who knows? But we'll see. But in the meantime, the future looks bright for now all 3 console makers. It's going to be nice to, like, I mean, obviously in a couple of years, the other 2 console makers are going to have new consoles, but it's going to be nice for us all to be kind of on a similar footing for at least a few years. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And just to be able to know that probably a lot of games that are still coming out for PS5 and Xbox Series X are going to probably automatically come to Switch 2 unless there's some sort of specific problem, So it's cool.
Sweet.
Love it, guys. Any final thoughts from either of you guys before we get out of here?
Yeah, I guess just not having a pack-in is weird. That was my thing. And then the fact that they're charging for the tech demo was
tech demo better cost $3. Hear me, Nintendo?
Yeah. That's all. That's my final closing thing. Come on.
Agreed.
Weird Nintendo decisions. Gotta love them.
Yeah.
Social. This is the Nintendo Social Hour version of a console. So I'm looking forward to those features. That's all I have to say.
Oh yeah, dude. Nice. I can't believe we got FromSoft announcement today. Insanity. I love it.
Give me Dust
and
Bloods.
then also bring Final Fantasy Remake to Xbox. All right, guys. Well, anyone who's been watching live on twitch.tv/Neon Pocket Dimension, you were already in the right place. And thank you so much for hanging out with us in the chat. We're here streaming for both Neon Pocket Dimension and Neon Gaming Dimension on weeknights, usually Wednesdays and Thursdays. And then Neon Gaming Dimension is on YouTube at youtube.com/@Neon Gaming Dimension, where every Monday you can get an episode of 5 Minute Gamer, which is where we review a game after only 5 minutes of playing it. And then you get things like these Neon Topics, which is our discussion podcast talking about all sorts of topics in the gaming industry. We also do things like reacts. So during the whole Summer Games Fest season, you will see reacts to the major showcases and some of the smaller indie ones as well. And then for over on Neon Pocket Dimension on YouTube, we have things like the Wive New Show, which is Jacob's fantastic interview show, which is going to go into its official season 1 shortly here. And then check out Odd Valley Studios as well, where the Odd Valley Tavern, which is the the podcast that started it all, is there and happens on Fridays, once a month usually. And there's going to be some exciting content with a good friend of the show, Mr. Hawk, showing up live IRL on one of those for some wrestling content. That should be pretty cool.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Anything else you guys want to plug while we're here before we get out of here? Yeah, I kind of think I
might
got
have
it
some
right.
game streams coming up soon.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, that's true.
We've been playing Repo, so look forward to that.
Yeah.
Check out, just Google OMGZUS, man. I got all sorts of stuff going on out there.
Oh yeah, that's true. He's
Check
been
it out.
doing some cool stuff on your personal channel. Also, shout out to Steven and his amazing shorts and TikToks. So check us out on TikTok, and if you got YouTube, it's on Shorts as well. And occasionally,
Yes.
when I get my act together, I put them out as Instagram reels too. But I'm pretty bad at that, so it's whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, they're around. They're around the internet. It's appropriate that Instagram reels come like a month later.
That's true. Yeah, they're always behind a little bit. Yeah.
They're like a month or two behind typically. So
yeah. Anyways, well, I love you guys. It's been fun to do it, and it's fun to cover. Yeah. This is our first console launch that we've gotten to cover, so
it was a big one. It's a big episode. Thanks for watching the whole thing. If you did, we love it.
Around, we appreciate it. Yeah. All right, y'all. We will see you next time on Neon Gaming Dimension and Neon Pocket Dimension. Until then, Switch 2 forever. Let's go.
Woohoo!